walking the path of integrity, forever embracing a life in balance, standing tall and confident, leaders in the classroom, community, and field of play, with clear vision and a full heart, looking to the future, devoted to the student athlete, representing the Northeast, diverse in composition, united by our values, determined by nature, uncompromised by choice. We are the NE10.
Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut, it's NCAA Division II hockey and the NE10 Conference. As this afternoon, Game 2 of a two-game weekend set in the final regular season game in the NE10 this weekend as the St. Michael's College Purple Eagles take on your Post-University Eagles. A pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff Nelson. Coach Pete Whitney will join us in just a moment. For St. Mike's, they come off a 3-2 win yesterday here at the Sports Center of Connecticut to raise their overall record to over 500 at 14-13, and their conference record at 12-7. Before we get into the specifics of the game yesterday, let's talk about where St. Michael's is in the current NE10 standings. With their 12-7 record, they're currently sitting at 32 points. That's 1 point behind Southern New Hampshire, meaning that the Knights have a lot to play for today, because if they get 2 points or more, which means an overtime win or a regulation win, they'll get a first-round bye in the NE10 tournament as a 2 seed. They won't be able to catch Assumption as the 1 seed, who far and away has won the division. But if St. Mike's loses in regulation time or loses in overtime, they will be the 3 seed, which means for St. Mike's, they will have to play Post a third time up in Vermont on Tuesday. I believe that game's going to be. And coaches, I bring you in. A lot of pressure for St. Mike's today to get that 2 or 3 points to get the bye and not have to play this Post team 3 times, because that would mean, obviously, if Post gets a win today, there might be some momentum going into Game 3 of what will be a 3-game series on Tuesday.
Well, that's true. And the other reality of that is, you know, St. Michael's has dominated the season series, and as important as games get to be, there's still a little bit of that human nature factor where, you know, we beat these guys 4 times. We don't have to worry about it, kind of thing, that you don't want that to creep into your team. So I'm sure that you'd much rather win today and avoid Post coming up there and get that extra week of, not week, but few days, right? Because they play Tuesday, then they'll play Friday, I think.
But at the same time, though, despite them dominating the series, look at it this way. The last 40 minutes of the game yesterday, Post was the better team. If they come out and find a way to win today, again, they probably will have been the better team, and now you're going to play them again in 48 hours, 72 hours. Right. Even though it's up there, that's going to turn around that perception that we were able to beat them comfortably 5 out of 6 times.
Yeah, I mean, it may and it may not, right? I mean, that's the thing. Again, you know, these athletes are young, and still there's that emotion factor, which we see in many of the games that we've done. So, yeah, for sure, they want to close it out and leave no doubt today, and Post is in a position to want to be that spoiler, so it should be a very good game.
Let's hope so. Yesterday was a good game as well. I mean, sort of a tale of 2 different games, and the St. Mike's got out very quickly, a minute 5 into the first period yesterday, on a goal by T.J. Beaver to make it 1-0, a minute 5 in. And then 2 goals in a 26-second span midway through the period for Case Cantajas and Brendan McFarland, and that made it 3-0. That was all the goal scoring St. Mike's had, and really dominating a first period, out shooting them 14-10 in that first period, and dominating them in the faceoffs 21-11. But Post was able to come out for the second period and really just take over at that point, really playing one of their best complete periods of the season, both offensively and defensively, closing out a 5-on-3, and they got 2 goals, one from Brandon Crowther and one from Jack Engdahl, both assisted by Connor Barter. Got it to 3-2, had opportunities in the third, couldn't cash in. Game ends at 3-2, but Post takes a lot away from that 40 minutes. And as we talked to Coach Richter yesterday, 13 one-goal losses, another 3 or 4 games, and they lost by 2 goals because of an empty net goal. And you're talking 15 to 20 losses of a team that's been within 1 goal and just missing that little thing to get them over the edge. Those first 20 minutes yesterday was that thing.
Right, and I think the advantage, if there is one, is to Post, because the Post's task is to stay on track, and St. Mike's task is actually to get back on track. So you think it's easier to stay on track, but you never know.
So we'll see as the teams get ready to come out to start this afternoon's contest. Scheduled originally for Friday at 4, but due to bus and travel difficulties, did not happen on Friday. Then originally scheduled for 2 o'clock, but there were hundreds of people skating on the ice at 2 o'clock. So pushed back to 2:40 Eastern today, and that will get going shortly as the teams are getting ready to take the ice in the final regular season game in the NE10 for both teams and for the conference this year, as everybody else wrapped up yesterday, and the Eagles would have wrapped up yesterday as well without that issue. So we'll give you the starting lineups, which are brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For you, Post is personal. For more information on all of Post degree programs to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the Purple Knights, 14-13 on the season, 11-7 in conference. They will start, same starters as yesterday. It'll be Cole Manahan in net. 4-4 on the season, 2.66 goals against average, and a .927 save percentage. He's a 6'4 sophomore out of Hermantown, Minnesota. His defensive combination is Ashton Allen, sophomore out of Brentwood, Tennessee, and Gabriel Gagnon out of Makushi, Quebec, Canada. Forwards are Brendan McFarland Jr. out of Greeley, Colorado. He had a goal yesterday, actually the game-winning goal technically. Zach Taylor will be the center. He's a senior out of Hanover, Massachusetts. And Quinn McCarthy, sophomore out of Melrose, Massachusetts, round out the forward unit. Head coach in season number 13 is Damian DeJulian. Assistant coaches are Lily Holmes and Brent Trichan. For your Eagles, in goal again is Drew Blodgett, tough luck loser yesterday, with a 3.72 goals against average and an .896 save percentage. His defensive combination is Wyatt Noble, freshman out of Spring Lake Park, Minnesota, and Tanner Glassrud, 6'7", out of Delano, Minnesota. His forwards are Parker Norling, freshman out of Andover, Minnesota, Connor Murray, sophomore out of Bedford, New Hampshire, and on right wing, Hugh McQuegan, sophomore out of Hamburg, New Jersey. Head coach in season number 2 is Tim Richter, assistant coach Andy DeAngelis, and Brandon Brown. Players are being announced to the crowd on hand. Looks like the same set of officials as yesterday, too, Coach.
One different one.
One different one. 3 out of 4.
Yep, for sure.
At center, sophomore number 21, Connor Murray.
As we get ready for the playing of our national anthem, which will come up momentarily. Only one change to the Eagle lineup today. Jacob Howell is in the lineup for McCowell, which will prevent me from having to say McCowell and Howell more often than once. Now we'll take a moment as we get ready for the playing of our national anthem this afternoon here at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton. The final regular season home game for your Post University men Eagle hockey team. Our national anthem here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for joining us wherever you are. And we thank you for joining us all season on the NE10 Now Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. Our final home broadcast of the season, because even if the Eagles make some magical run, there won't be any home games for us to broadcast. So,
No.
Coach and I want to thank everybody for listening throughout the season. Thank everybody who's showing up today. And again, another good crowd on Alumni Weekend and Parents Weekend and Senior Day and all that fun stuff. So, looking forward to another one. A lot of the women's players are here today as well. So it should be a good one. Players around both the goaltenders getting ready to go. St. Mike's in their road purple and gold going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Eagles in home whites going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. Ice might be a little bit choppy as there was a open skate before this game today. It looks a little choppy. So that might make the puck bounce a little bit more and skating a little bit tougher, but we'll see how that all turns out. Murray and Taylor will be in the draw to start this one this afternoon as the final regular season game and the final home game of the season for your Post Eagles. St. Mike's the same six that started the game yesterday. Eagles a little bit different, but Murray in the draw and he wins it clean. Back to Noble. Noble gives to Murray. He cycles in his own zone, looks to pass it out, but Taylor got a stick on it. McQuegan taken down from behind by Alain. But the puck sent into the Eagle zone. It bounced off the back of the goal, slowed down, so McQuegan able to pick it up on the half wall. But three Purple Knights right there to hit him and get the puck away. Taylor went back to the point, but McQuegan took out Alain, who was the defenseman who actually threw his stick down the ice. Coach Richter, a little apoplectic over there, looking for a penalty for throwing McQuegan's stick down the ice, but no call made. Engdahl, who scored the second goal yesterday, gives to Crowther, looks back for Engdahl, but goes through his legs and just wide. Engdahl picked it up on the half wall, looking to go back to the point to Barter, but Barter wasn't there. It ends up going to center where Craig will play it. Craig gives to Barter. Barter spins around, sends it down into the Knight zone where Kantajas will play it, but Crowther in there to chop it away, but then taken by McDonald. McDonald then give it away to Barter in the top of the slot area. Engdahl with a shot. Rebound, Crowther takes a shot. It's stopped by Manahan. As Crowther found a loose puck at the top of the near circle, he took a wrist shot that Manahan managed to block for the first shot on goal of the game. Craig now with the puck inside the Eagle zone after it being dumped in by the Knights, leaves it for Sturgeon. Minute and 10 gone, first period, no score. Knights looking to set the pace like they did yesterday, again jumping out to a 3-0 lead, but they had already scored by this point in the game yesterday, so the Eagles already doing a little bit better than they had yesterday. Craig gets to the red line, tries to spin around the defense, but then loses the puck, and now Nauman chasing after it. But Cardo takes a better angle and gets to the puck first before Nauman can get there, using the goal and the goaltender as a defensive mechanism. Gets it back behind the net to Craig, who's now being checked away. And again, you see that Purple Knight speed as they've been chasing the Eagles down all through the first couple of minutes. Cardo rims it around for Bice. Bice gets checked off. Bloom takes it, keeps it in momentarily, did TJ Beaver, but then lost it, and now comes Patrick Murphy. Murphy in his final home game as captain comes in over the line, looks to center in front to Tommy Bice, but couldn't get it there. He picked it up behind the net, being slashed at by Kantajas, gives it to Gethings, who tries to slam it on goal. Takes one shot toward the net, but then bounces behind the net, and the puck comes all the way around the corner. Brewer waits for it. Instead, Murphy got there first, sent it toward the net. Now the puck bounces free in the slot to Cardo. Takes a shot, blocker saved by Manahan. Good shot from about 45 feet out. Cardo gets it again, sends it toward the net, but blocked this time nicely and cleanly by Ciancio, and the puck goes out the center. Brewer sends it right back in wide of Manahan, bounces off the back wall, comes up on the half wall to where Howell will get it. Howell takes out Beaver, gives it to Gethings. Gethings tried to center in front to Howell, instead goes behind the net. Howell fighting for it, being held. It ends up back to the point to Delory. Delory sends it down low into the corner for Gethings. Gethings tried to rim it back to Harshaw, instead goes behind the net, but then Beaver takes it for the Knights and tries to get out. Long pass up ahead for Leo. Leo finds a man over the line. That was Bavis who took a shot but missed it way wide, up bouncing out of the Zamboni corner. Now Harshaw gives to Howell. Howell gets to the red line, dumps it in, goes off on a line change, leaving Mosher to chase after it for the Eagles. Nice play by Gagnon to go to Alan, and Alan looks ahead to Gagnon. Gagnon, who, while the defenseman played up a lot yesterday, moved up many times, and the Eagles have to be aware of that. Their defensemen like to come down, and now Murray takes a penalty behind the net for, gonna guess, I'll give him cross-checking. At 3:22, a cross-checking penalty to Connor Murray. And the Eagles, who were 7 for 7 on the penalty kill yesterday, will go right back to the penalty kill here to start today's game. St. Mike's on the season, despite going 0 for 7 yesterday, still number 1 in the NE10 on the power play. They're 26 for 132, 19.7% on the power play. The Eagles on the penalty kill, despite going 7 for 7, still last in the NE10, but they're 118 for 130. They are 108 for 139. That's 77.7%. That's still last in the NE10. Puck in the Eagles' zone as Gagnon plays it on right point. Sends it down low to McCarthy. McCarthy again gives it back to Taylor for a one-timer, stopped by Blodgett. McFarland to Ciancio, back to McFarland on the left side. Now center point Ciancio. Wrist shot through a screen goes wide as he tried to put it on net and look for a rebound. Now Glassrud picks it up in the Zamboni corner and ripped it all the way down the ice. Right on, by the way. So Manahan had to make a save there. You get a shot on goal for that, even though it was a 200-foot shot. And the Knights will start again behind the net with TJ Beaver, the junior out of Enfield, New Hampshire. Beaver comes out the near side, gives a pass over to Dukes. Ryland Dukes goes across the ice to Cantajes. Cantajes looking across, and he gets his pass there to Bloom. Bloom setting up at the top of the circle, gives it down to McDonald, goes back to the point to Beaver. Beaver sends a shot toward the net, they score. It was deflected in front, I think Bloom got it. As a simple little wrist shot by Beaver went through and deflected in by Ty Bloom. And at 4:26, a power play goal by the Knights makes it 1-0 on Bloom, 6th of the season.
It's similar to yesterday. That bumper play right there in those hash marks is kind of left unchecked, unattended, and they had one quick pass with a shot on goal there that we made a nice save on. And right there, he just had too much time, and he was able to turn and redirect that puck.
So a power play goal by Ty Bloom, the freshman out of Helena, Montana, his 6th of the season, assisted by TJ Beaver, and I think the second assist is going to go to Quinn McCarthy at 4:26 on the power play. We'll get that official total in just a moment. So the Eagles trail 1-0 again, just 3 minutes later than they did at this time yesterday. Puck bouncing in to Manahan, where Bice is taken down in front of him on a little bit of a chop shot. And face-off held. So officially we're going to go Bloom, his 6th of the season for the Knights from Beaver and McCarthy at 4:26.
Yeah, and that's an adjustment, obviously, that St. Mike's made from yesterday, seeing that they could have success from that area, and they exploited that.
Murray in the draw to Manahan's right. Shot toward the net by McQuegan. Blocked in front. Norling pins a man in the corner, able to give it to Murray in front to McQuegan for a one-time shot that's stopped by Manahan. Sturgeon, D to Delory. Delory looks, instead of taking a shot, passes it down to McQuegan, who goes behind the net with it, watched by Alain. And then the puck taken away. McQuegan still fighting for it on the half wall, but out comes Racker. Racker gives the pass up to Nauman. Nauman over the line. Nauman holds, waits, gives to Racker down behind the net, but it goes off his stick. And then Sturgeon takes a hit to the head. That's going to be a penalty on Ben Baxter, freshman out of Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's going to get 2 minutes for elbowing at 5:25. And that's going to put the Eagles on the power play. Coach, I don't know what's going on behind the play as well, but St. Mike's in their bench not happy. There's something going on behind the play, but ultimately a penalty on Ben Baxter. And the Eagles will go to their first power play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you can be as happy as you want. Maybe something happened behind the play, but you still can't take that penalty. You've got momentum. You just scored a power play goal, and now you're potentially handing momentum back to your opponent.
Eagles 14 for 34. Keeps moving on. 14 for 132 on the season on the man advantage, 10.6%. That's last in the NE10. St. Mike's is 4th in the NE10 on the penalty kill, 106 for 132. 82%, 91 for 111, 82%, 4th in the NE10. Craig gets to the blue line, dumps it in, goes off a stick. Glassrud pins his man to the boards, and 6 players fighting for it in that corner. Eagles trying to come away with it. There are 3 Knights down there and 3 Eagles fighting for it. Only Cardo and Craig not down in that little half-wall corner area. Puck rimmed around but fanned as it tried to get wiped out by Ciancio, and then finally popped up in the air and all the way down the ice. The first 45 seconds of the man advantage is gone for the Eagles. Cardo to Craig, out of the zone, gets to center, chips it to Bice, who tries to keep going. Through Alain, it's still bouncing. Bice went for the backhand, like it went into the corner. Murphy rims it around the Brewer at right point, who keeps it in. Gives it down to Murphy, who stops it on the half wall, spins away with it, goes back to Brewer center point. Brewer gives it down to Craig, who goes across to Murphy, who can't play it, but then picks it up, gives it to Brewer again, center point. Brewer with a shot towards the net, through a screen, blocked in front, rebound. Bice has it, backhanded attempt by Glassford. He couldn't get all of it, and it was taken away by Bloom. Bloom, the goal scorer, over the line, carries in, looks in front, centers, backhand, stopped by Blodgett. Huge save, rebound, re-centered. Blodgett will cover as McFarland and Bloom playing a 2-on-1 two-man game. Bloom got the pass through, McFarland had the backhand. Blodgett made the save, and then a couple of centering passes off of Blodgett looking for a deflection, but Blodgett held firm. And with 31 seconds remaining on the Eagles' power play, still 1-0.
Yeah, strong play by Drew there in the net.
Face-off won by McDonald. Eagles trying to get control of the puck, but St. Mike's doing a great job in getting the puck all the way down to Schwartz, but that allows Engdahl to chase after Schwartz. Engdahl and Schwartz go into the corner together. He reverses the flow, tries to get it out, takes a funky bounce off the boards. And that was a break for the Knights as Noble was going to be at left point to take it. But instead it bounced right to McDonald. And McDonald wiped it all the way down. Last rush for the Eagles on the man advantage. Here's Brewer. Brewer gets to center, over the line, on right wing, carries it into the corner, spins it back to Bice, but he's taken away, and that's going to end the first power play of the game for the Eagles. They are 0 for 1. Special teams a factor yesterday. Again, the Eagles killed off the number one power play in the NE10 7 out of 7 times. But so far today, the Knights have a 1-0 lead on their power play goal, and the Eagles are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Here's Delory trying to go through too many people, but gets a fortunate bounce to Howell, who takes a shot that goes wide. All the way around, it goes to the far side. Mosher takes a big hit by Taylor. Clean hit as well, and Mosher pops right back up, but a big hit by Taylor, sending a message. Puck comes free to center where Noble will play it. Looks again for Mosher. Tried to tip it in, but taken away by McCarthy. McCarthy swings it over here on the near side. Got a bounce off the leg of Alex Dalton, who's in the lineup. Gives it down to Taylor. Taylor centered it in front, but ends up on the stick of Dalton. Leaves it for a land, goes down to McCarthy for a one-timer that he fans on wildly. And it goes into the Zamboni corner where Noble will play it. He makes a nice move around Taylor and Dalton and comes out the center with a 3-on-2. He's in over the line. He tried to go through too many people and had it chopped away. That's just a case of doing a little bit too much. And Sturgeon sends it in around the boards as teams go off on a line change. Here's Gagnon. Tries to get the center. McQuegan lays a hit right on to Taylor, who's now struggling to get on the ice. Excuse me, that's Racker who's struggling to get on the ice. Racker came on the ice, took a hit from McQuegan, and then crawled his way back onto the bench. Shot taken by McQuegan just wide. He's going to come in and try to take a hit on Bloom. Instead, chopped it out to center. And now chasing after the Sturgeon, trying to win a race. Good dive, but Nauman keeps going. Nauman tried to center it out in front. Had it blocked. Nauman tried to recenter, but Norling takes it out. Norling trying to get around Kansajas. It's a foot race. Norling at the circle, keeps going. Good job by Kansajas playing defense there as he got in the way of Norling and cut down the angle and wouldn't allow him to get the shot despite getting the puck. Schwartz in his own zone. Stands behind his net, waits, gives a pass over on the right side to Kansajas. Kansajas coming up on right wing, now makes a veer to the center, gets to the red line, dumps it in. And that'll allow Glassroot to get it behind the net, and the Eagles will now start behind their own net. With 9:25 gone in the first period, 1-0 St. Mike's. Again, St. Mike's has everything to play for here. A win or an overtime win guarantees them a 2 seed and a bye in the first round, a loss or an overtime loss, and they will play the Eagles again on Tuesday up in Vermont as the 3 seed. Centered in front to McDonald, who took a shot fanned on as Glassroot got in the way of it, forcing him to fan, and then Glassroot gets it out the center. But did that go off somebody in the bench? And I'm going to guess that's why there was a whistle. It went off somebody on the post bench. And with 10:15 to go in period number 1, 1-0 St. Mike's and a face-off to Blodgett's left between Baxter and Murphy. Baxter, a big boy, by the way. He is 6'5", 215 out of Hyannis, Massachusetts. So a lot of size in the NE10 over the last couple of years. The Eagles have a couple of players over 6'4", and we're seeing a lot of size across the league, Coach, as we play these games. Not as many 5'11", 5'10s. We're seeing 6'3s and 6'4s and 6'7s.
Well, it's a testament, too, right? I think how the game has changed a bit, whereas years back, the bigger players weren't necessarily the best skaters, but all the big players that are out there now, they can all move and they can all skate pretty well.
Eagles trying to move ahead offensively as Gethings pushes it into the night zone. Alan tries to go back to his defensive partner and instead bounced off Gagnon's leg into the slot where Manahan makes the save. But the Eagles with a 6'5" Delory and a 6'7" Glassroot. You got 6'5" Baxter, 6'4" Kansajas. And, the size is just no Dalton 6'2". The size is noticeable as you move up and down the lineups in the NE10. Still have a lot of those 5'9", 5'10" guys, but you're starting to see those big, particularly on the defensive side, those big boys on the defense.
Well, depending who you're playing, that's a good it's a good tool for the coaches because you can fine-tune your lineup a bit.
Here's Taylor over the line on right wing, takes a shot toward the net, blocks it, bobbles it, goes in, and he scores. Taylor's going to get credit for it as Blodgett wants to get that one back. It was shot into his chest, and he bobbled it into the goal. And at 10:47, Taylor gets the goal, his 8th of the season, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate bounce there.
We'll have to see who the official assists are on that goal. There should be at least one. But at the moment, 2-0 on Taylor. An innocent shot. And again, Drew Blodgett wants to have that one back. Shot into his chest. He just kind of bobbled it. Unfortunately, when he bobbled it, it went into the goal. For Taylor, his 8th of the season at 10:47. We'll get you the assists on that as soon as we get them. If there are one. I think there is one, but I'm not 100% sure. Eagles trailing again 2-0, similar to how they were trailing yesterday. They only get down 3-0 because they weren't able to come back from that yesterday. Brewer pins Racker up on the wall, and here comes Harshaw, 2-on-2. Harshaw gets to the red line, dumps it in around the boards. Howell will chase after it against Beaver. Howell hits Beaver, puck bounces out to the air and out to center where Craig will get it. Craig gives it back to Mosher. Mosher at the red line looking to get it in, spinning a Rama move on the backhand, will dump it in and behind the net, but Ciancio the first one after it. Then had it roll off his stick of the man he passed it to, which was Racker, and it goes out to center. Beaver will start again, goes D to Ciancio behind the net. Ciancio gets to the corner, pops it up in the air, but Sturgeon's the first one after it, and Sturgeon will take over. Sturgeon in his own zone, feeds a pass up to Howell, he'll chip it in, go off on a line change. Knights regain control of the puck, and it's Alain. Alain to Gagnon. Gagnon looking ahead for McDonald, but a nice play by Craig stopped it before it could go any further, and here comes Craig over the line. Gives to Norling. Norling with a one-timer shot looking for the corner. Missed it wide, though. Eagles better to put some shots on net than picking corners. Now in front looking for McQuegan, and it goes through the defense behind them. And Murray will chase after it all the way back into the Eagle zone. Long pass ahead to Craig, who was pinching down. Craig at the blue line gets rubbed out by Leal. On the half wall inside the Knight zone, it pops out the center. Murray sends it right back in. And the Eagles will have to chase after it. McQuegan goes back after Gagnon, a couple of 24s behind the net, and a long pass ahead to Bavis. Bavis takes it in his own zone, watched by Gethings, trying to escape Gethings. Had it chipped forward, but taken by Noble. Noble then tried to feed it ahead, had to go off the Purple Knight player's leg. That was Bavis, and sent back out the center. The team's playing a little bit sloppy in the neutral zone right now. Cantajaz looking for Bavis, too far. Now given to Noble. Noble looks for Bice. He chipped it in. And Cantajaz, who wears number 4, and Noble, who wears number 4 for the Eagles, playing a bit of catch with it, along with two number 11s, Bavis and Bice. A little bit of a two-man game. And here's Cantajaz, number 4, sending it on goal, gloved by Blodgett. Nobody around him, but finally McCarthy gets down there, so the referees will give him a whistle. And with 6:46 to go in the first period, 2-0 St. Mike's. First goal, a power play goal. Second goal, really one Blodgett wants to have back, and that's where we are, 2-0.
Yeah, face-offs and their ability to control pace here is going to make a difference, I think, for a post. Those dumps aren't being very particularly effective because St. Mike's defensemen are able to get to them first.
Taylor, turnaround shot stopped by Blodgett as it goes off the right shoulder. Then back to the point for a long shot again, deflected wide, doesn't get in front of Blodgett. Then re-centered by McCarthy looking for Taylor, but it went off the leg of Cardo and into the corner, and then taken out of the zone. Engdahl gets the center, he dumps it in. Eagles will chase after it again. It's Beaver reversing the flow nicely, but Crowther overplayed to keep it in. Brewer sends a shot toward the net, stopped by Manahan with the blocker, and then re-centered in front of Blodgett. His shot blocked in front, didn't get to Manahan, and then dumped all the way down for a racing McCarthy. McCarthy chasing after it, but they're going to call icing, and then Brewer took out McCarthy at the end. And now Barter and McFarland getting into it. And Engdahl holding Barter off, not wanting to take a penalty.
I think they might both be going.
I'm not really sure why that was an icing to just start the whole thing because, to be honest, Quinn McCarthy won the race. And I know it's the dots where you're supposed to be calling that icing, but McCarthy was even, if not better, than Brewer going in there. So, Not really sure why they didn't give the race to McCarthy anyway, and that's what Alex Dalton, one of the captains for the Knights, is saying. Looks like temporarily, though, they put Barter, I think that's going to be Barter in there.
Yeah.
And it looks like Barter and McFarland are going to get 2 each for roughing. They're still yelling at each other in the penalty boxes. Barter doing more of the yelling than McFarland. But good job by Engdahl to hold Barter off to make sure he didn't take any additional penalties. So I'm thinking we're 4-on-4, and we're going to be 4-on-4 here for the next 2 minutes. Both penalties at 13:49 for roughing Barter and McFarland.
Yeah, and the officials just want to keep things under control. They don't, they want the boys to be in a position to play hockey.
Murray and McDonald will take the draw whenever they get the faceoffs up on the board, and they finally do. Won by Murray, who's done good on the draws the last couple of games, to Norling, and gives it to Sturgeon. Sturgeon to Norling in his own zone, 4-on-4. Eagles trailing 2-0. Looking for Craig, but too far. It ends up back at center, where a big hit is taken in the backside of Alamba, so far away from the boards, not going to be boarding. And he sort of rolled them into the boards, which was an interesting thing to look at. Gagnon gives to McDonald. McDonald spinning in his own zone. Gives his pass to Dukes. Dukes now behind the net, being watched by Norling. Suddenly the pace has gotten significantly slower, which is not St. Mike's style. Here's McDonald giving it to Beaver. Beaver up over the line, carrying in with a bad angle shot taken by Ciancio, then a recenter in front, and Sturgeon racing after it. Sturgeon comes back the other way for the Eagles, 2-on-4. Takes a long shot from just inside the line, but they're going to say Murphy beat him over the line with 1:04 to go on the 4-on-4 and 5:14 to go in period number 1. 2-0 St. Mike's. Face-off just outside the Purple Knights zone.
Just a little overhandle there at the blue line, put his teammate offsides.
Murphy this time against Bloom, one of the goal scorers for St. Mike's today, and Bloom wins that draw, and it's sent back into the Knight zone where Ciancio will start behind his own net. Ciancio looking and waiting, now coming out the near side, gives over to Beaver. Beaver checked by Murphy, and he'll go back towards his own net and then send a long pass up on right wing to Bloom. Bloom crisscrosses, carries in over the line on the backhand, spins away at the top of the circle, now dumps it into the Zamboni corner, allowing Cantajas to go in after it, but Murphy was watching him. Now Murphy fighting into the near side corner, dumps it up to Bice, tries to get it out, can't do it, chopped back into the zone by, looked like Ciancio, and now the Eagles come out the other way. Here comes Murphy on the near side. 1-on-2, Murphy going toward the net, being held off by Cantajas. No penalty call. Backhanded toward the net. Caught by Manahan. Rebounded from Murphy. One bank, two banks. It's still there. And finally there's a whistle as Manahan jumped on it. And Manahan forced to make a couple of saves with 14 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 and 4:25 to go in the first period. Murphy, good job there, using a power move towards the net, being held off. Got a backhand on, and then a second opportunity. But Manahan tall to the task. And we talk about height. Manahan 6'4" as well. Takes up a lot of that goal.
Yeah, he's a big goaltender. He's played well.
Taylor to McCarthy. Gives over here for Gagnon. Gagnon takes a long shot. Bobbled again by Blodgett, but he managed to get the pads on it and get the whistle. Then a late chop at it by Gagnon, and he's going to get 2 minutes for slashing. And among the bad penalties, that might be one, as that whistle was blown 2 to 3 seconds before Gagnon slapped at it. And that's going to send him to the box for a penalty, and the Eagles go to the power play. 4-on-3 for 4 seconds and 5-on-4. But again, one thing of notice, Coach Blodgett bobbled that puck as well. He had a whistle for a good 2 to 3 seconds, but Drew fighting it a little bit early on.
Yeah, I mean, that one there, again, the ice is a little dicey. I think Drew's expecting that. He's trying to get that thing to skip into his glove, and it takes a different path.
Coach Julian not happy with that call. And I'm not sure, in the grand scheme of things, that should have been a penalty either, given what it was. But at the same time, it was 2 to 3 seconds after the whistle. But referee's going to call that. We've seen that called multiple times this season, and Gagnon's going to get the penalty. 2 minutes for slashing at 15:45.
Well, again, the referees, the officials understand what's at stake here, and they it's a fine line. They also don't want the game to get out of hand. So I'm sure they're going to be talking to the coach about just keeping your guys in check with their emotions.
Craig at left point toward the net, blocked in front by Alain, who got his body in front of it. Ciancio tries to rim it out. Glassroot takes him out, but the puck ends up back to center. We're 5-on-4 right now with 1:35 to go on the Eagles' second power play. They're 0 for 1. Murphy behind the back to Cardo. He'll rim it all the way around. Cantajas there first, and an easy clear by the Knights as it's chipped all the way down the ice by Ryland Dukes. Cardo behind his own net, takes it out, comes out the near side, gives to a flying Patrick Murphy up on left wing. Makes a fancy move around two Knight defenders, but couldn't control the puck. It's chipped into the corner where Glassroot's in there. Same sort of Eagle power play as they started with yesterday. 3 defensemen with Glassroot being one of the forwards. Down to Murphy, it rolled off his stick, played up the wall by Ciancio, tries to get it out, but a good play by McQuegan to hold the boards, forces it to rim all the way around, and then Beaver slammed it down the ice, with Craig taking a hit, and then Blodgett fanned on his pass looking for Cardo. It comes out in front, net off the moorings as McFarland aggressively playing the penalty kill.
Yeah, right now St. Michael's is very aggressive everywhere on the ice with that first player, so they're making it difficult for Post to do any kind of a real setup. So to counter that, you got to bring 2 so you can outnumber, and you'll still be even everywhere else on the ice.
3 minutes to go in the first period, 45 on the man advantage. Don't forget to stay with us at the end of the first period. We'll go around the post-university sports scene. A busy day yesterday, and a lot of things to get caught up for in the post-university sports scene here on a Sunday afternoon. Puck behind the Purple Knights net. 5 players back there fighting for it, now 6. Ultimately, though, Engdahl comes away with it. Engdahl goes back to the point to Brewer. Brewer has a maze of players in front of him looking to create a lane. Can't find one, gives to Engdahl. Engdahl goes across to Noble, back to Brewer. Brewer takes a shot, blocked in front, deflected a couple of times as it went toward the goal. It was blocked, deflected, bounced, and just went wide. Noble trying to keep it in, but excellent defense by Ryland Dukes. Forces that puck out the center, and the Eagles now have 5 seconds remaining on power play number 2, and it's going to end because Brewer's standing in his own zone. Gives the puck to Gethings. He carries it in over the line, dumps it now, chases after it. Alain gets there first on the backhand, tries to come around the far side, tries to chip it up the wall, get it out, but Gethings kept it in just momentarily. And then Engdahl shot it into the Purple Knights bench. Good penalty kill there by the Purple Knights. That was one of their better penalty kills, even though they've killed off all the Eagle power plays this weekend. But didn't really only allow really one shot by Brewer. It just went wide.
Yeah, they have that aggressive tactic, which when you're up on your toes like that and you're able to make those plays, it's very difficult as a power play player to actually get anything going.
Harshaw and Bloom just outside the Knight zone with 2:03 to go in period number 1. Face-off won by Bloom, who got a goal in this game. One back to Ciancio. Ciancio gets out of the zone, tries to dump it all the way in. It gets into the Eagle zone where Sturgeon will play it around the goal to Delory. Delory. Cross-ice pass to Mosher goes off his skate, so he's going to have to chase after it. I don't think it'll get there for icing. It doesn't. Ciancio, though, has to feed it to Beaver. Beaver gets it up the wall, looking for Nauman. Nauman then sends it right back to Delory at the Eagle defense. Delory to Mosher at center again, bounces off his leg, and then he gives it away. And it's dumped right back in by the Knights. 90 seconds to go in period 1. Delory behind his own net goes to Sturgeon. Sturgeon with an oncoming rushing player from Roleel who skated literally 100 feet directly at Sturgeon, forcing him to give up the puck to Delory. Delory gives to Harshaw. Harshaw pinned to the boards by Davis, gave up the puck, and here comes Baxter. Back in over the line, Baxter being clawed at and slapped at and slawed at and slashed at. Got the puck into the corner. He regains the puck as he chased it into the corner. Here's Alain. D to Gagnon. Gagnon one-timer on his knee, and he fanned on it. Then a backhand pass opportunity by Leal that he also fanned on and ends up being rimmed all the way around the boards to the near side where Alain pinches in, but Delory takes it out, and Harshaw will come away with it. Harshaw gets it to Howell. Howell at center. Has some time and space, and will just dump it in as Eagles go off on a line change, probably their final line change of the period. And then a shot all the way down. This should be an icing as it headhunter drive towards one of his own players, the Purple Knights did, as Leal had to duck out of the way on the Gagnon. Not sure if that was a pass or just get it out of my own zone kind of thing. But leads to a face-off to Manahan's left with 35.8 to go in the first period. Murray and Baxter on this draw, and this line for the Knights has been out there a while. Murray wins the draw again, back to the point to Craig. Craig dumps it in, faked the shot. Norling tried to play it. It bounced off the leg of Gagnon into the far side corner 5 players in there fighting for it. 3 Knights, 2 Eagles. It squirts free behind the net to Baxter. Baxter will look to get it out, goes high off the glass. Nice job by Craig to jump down and keep it in, and then sends it back in, and Murray chases after it with 15. Beaver behind the net. That was Alan taken out. Chipped up the wall again. Leal trying to get it out. Eagles fighting for it. Craig comes away with it. 5 seconds in the period. Got to send it toward the net. Deflected in front by Norling, who had good position, but that's going to end the period as the Eagles had their best chance with 5 seconds left in the period. And a disappointing first period for the Eagles as they trail 2-0 after one, Coach. And similarities to yesterday, but I would say that St. Mike's wasn't as dominant in the first period as they were yesterday.
No, I mean, it looks like a second game of the weekend as far as that goes. But, St. Mike's still is up on their toes a little bit more. And I think part of it is, too, Post is going to have to make some adjustments. They can't just keep dumping pucks in that they can't get to. That's going to wear you down. And I think you're seeing a little bit of that as the period went on a bit. Those dumps that they made were not quality dumps. St. Mike's was able to recover and just move that puck. So you either start putting him at the goaltender to try to take a little bit more time off, force him to make a decision with the puck, give yourself an opportunity to get in there, or make a more quality dump where you have a better opportunity of access to it on your forecheck.
That's how the first period ends. It's 2-0 for St. Mike's. We'll be back in 2 minutes with your look around the Post University sports scene in 2 minutes. We're listening and watching the Post University hockey on the NE10 Now Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles.
Walking the path of integrity, forever embracing a life in balance, standing tall and confident, leaders in the classroom, community, and field of play, with clear vision and a full heart, looking to the future, devoted to the student athlete, representing the Northeast. Diverse in composition, united by our values, determined by nature, uncompromised by choice. We are the NE10.
First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where St. Mike's, the Purple Knights, lead your Post University Eagles 2-0. And as we do, and this will actually be the final time we do it here on the hockey side, a look around the Post University sports scene this season here in the first intermission. And that's brought to you by Post University and its 21 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From volleyball to baseball to hockey, there's something for everyone to enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. We'll start with the basketball side, where the men's basketball team, basically where there's a Williams, there's a way. Taquan Williams leads the men's basketball team to a big road win over Goldie Beacom yesterday afternoon, 87-77. Taquan Williams continues to elevate his game over the last couple of weeks, finishing again with a team high and game high for points, with a career best 21 points on 5 for 8 shooting. He made 7 free throws, easy for me to say, and 4 3-pointers, and now has reached double digits in 4 straight games. And all 5 post players finished in double digits. Robert Sanders with 10, Harrison Warnock with 13, Dang Diang 15, and Bowl Akat 19. With the win today, Post University is now, well, with the win yesterday, Post University is now 6-5 in games that they trail at halftime this season. They've now won 4 consecutive games against Goldie Beacom, dating back to the 1920 season after losing the previous 5 matchups. Post returns home for a matchup against Holy Family on Thursday, 7 p.m. at the Drubner Center. This is one of the makeup games due to the blizzard, snowstorm, whatever you want to call it, back in early January. The Eagles have won their last 6 games against the Tigers from Holy Family and are 11-1 all-time at home in the series. On the women's basketball side, they fell to Goldie Beacom yesterday, 79-72, despite Naj White's career day. She set a new high with 19 points and a career-best field goals made of 8, field goal attempts 13, and steals 3. Only 2 players scored in double figures for Goldie Beacom, as Rory Sazowski finished with 28 points and Janiyah Stevens had 23. They combined for 15 for 24 from the field for the Lightning. This is the first time this season that Post never led at any point in the game. And the last time Post had lost to Goldie Beacom was back in the 18-19 season, which was a 55-50 loss back then. The Eagles had won the previous 4 matchups against the Lightning. The Eagles head home for a big conference matchup against Felician next Saturday. It's a week from yesterday, 6 days from now, at the Drubner Center. Tip-off scheduled for 1 p.m. Last time they played each other, Felician beat Post 81-68. This game will heavily impact the North Division title race, with Felician having defeated Georgian Court earlier yesterday. A win for Post would put them up at least 2 games, with 2 remaining for the division title, depending on the outcome of the Felician-Bridgeport game on Tuesday night. So much to play for next Saturday at the Drubner Center, 1 p.m. for the tip-off up there. Hopefully a big crowd celebrating the Women Eagle basketball program as they take on Felician in the big North Division matchup. So good luck to both the men and the women. On the baseball side, they did not have a good 3-game weekend against North Greenville University, being swept. They're now 1-5 on the season, and on a 5-game losing streak. They fell yesterday 27-10.
Wow.
In baseball, that's a lot. They scored 22 runs, did North Greenville University, in the 6th and 7th inning, and the Crusaders pulled away, missing an extra point late in the game to end it 27-10. Eagles did put up 10 runs, which is encouraging, and Michael Palvachak extended his on-base streak to 15 straight games, going 2 for 3 with 2 walks and a run scored. DJ Caron continued his red-hot start, going 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 runs. This is the first game the Eagles have lost when scoring first, and now 1-1 in those games and 0-4 in all the others. The 27 runs allowed by Post is the most given up in program history, with the previous high being 25 against UMass Lowell. Post prepares for their 3rd trip of the spring, heading to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Good place to be. For a next weekend of 5 games, they'll start off playing Franklin Pierce University on Thursday. 2 teams played each other 4 times last spring in Morehead City, North Carolina, before the Eagles will take on Queens College and the Fighting Subways over the weekend.
Yeah, I think that's one of the interesting things about baseball is they get to travel like they do to the warmer climate, obviously, to play some games, kind of sort everything out, and you do get the opportunity to play teams that if you didn't go down there, you'd never get a chance to play. So from that standpoint, it's a good experience, and I'm sure the coaches like it from the standpoint of trying to sort their players out.
Absolutely, and hopefully for the Eagles, they're able to get back on the winning side of the ledger, currently 1-5 on the season. Women's hockey wrapped up their regular season yesterday with a tough 4-3 loss to Sacred Heart. Congratulations to Jet Devlin, though, who scored her first collegiate goal, but the Eagles do fall 4-3 to Sacred Heart and get swept in the weekend series. They fell to 7-26-1 overall, 7-20-1 in the NEWHA. Sacred Heart goes to 15-19-2 overall, 14-12-2 in the NEWHA. After going 1 for 35 in the last 8 games and not scoring on 33 straight power plays, Post University snapped that streak as Sajel Desai scored on the man advantage in the first period. They were 1 for 2 on the penalty kill, and Casey Van de Otlar has now played 100 career games over 3 seasons for Post University. Congratulations to her for hitting the triple-figure mark. This was the first time since October 21st, 2023, in which Post scored 2 power play goals in the same game. That one also ended up in a loss, a 5-4 overtime loss to Assumption. The Eagles now get ready for the conference playoffs. The NEWHA quarterfinals will take place next Friday as the 7th seed, the Eagles, travel to St. A's to take on St. Anselm in a best 2 out of 3 3-game road series. Game 1 will be Friday at 7 p.m. Game 2 is Saturday at 7 p.m. And if necessary, Game 3 will be Sunday, a week from today, at 3 p.m. The unfortunate thing for Post is they're 0-25-0 all time against St. A's, and this season we're outscored 14-4 in the 4-game series. So something will have to give. Hopefully the Eagles find a way to get their first career win against St. A's this weekend in NEWHA conference play. And that's your look around the Post University sports scene for the final time this season here on the NE10 Now Network and YouTube.com/GoPost Eagles. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the NE10 Now Network and YouTube.com/GoPost Eagles.
Walking the path of integrity, forever embracing a life in balance, standing tall and confident, leaders in the classroom, community, and field of play, with clear vision and a full heart, looking to the future, devoted to the student athlete, representing the Northeast. Diverse in composition, united by our values, determined by nature, uncompromised by choice. We are the NE10. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles trail St. Michael's 2-0. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney, here with you this afternoon. And Coach, a different first period than yesterday, as you said, Game 2 of a 2-game weekend set. St. Michael's not as dominant. Shots on goal 8-8 in the first period, but they lead 2-0 again. And the Eagles are chasing it and got to come out the same way they did in the second period yesterday.
Yeah, they need to make some tactical changes, I think, which we'll see what coaches have come up with in between the periods here. Just because, like you say, they've been chasing, and just the current tactic, they're not able to get to those pucks and forecheck them and get turnovers there. So they've do something to keep those pucks below the tops of the circles and gain possession. So, you know, that can be carrying them more, a little chip and chase along the wall, not quite as deep, that you can get your forward to. Maybe it's a puck that goes to the goaltender to force the goaltender to handle it. Maybe you have to freeze it so you get an opportunity to try to win some draws. So you just got to change things up a little bit to find out what's effective, or just make a better quality dump that you or one of your teammates can actually get to.
Goal scoring was Ty Bloom. He opened the scoring with a beautiful deflection on a shot from the point by TJ Beaver at 4:26 on the man advantage, and that gave St. Mike's a 1-0 lead. Add the assist, secondary assist to Quinn McCarthy, and that gave them a 1-0 lead. And then an unassisted goal by Zach Taylor on a simple shot into the body of Drew Blodgett, who bobbled it and unfortunately bobbled it into the net. So an unassisted goal for Taylor at 10:47, and that's the two goals that St. Mike scored yesterday. A little bit different in regards to how they scored yesterday versus today, or different how they scored today compared to yesterday. But either way, the Eagles now trailing 2-0. St. Mike's 1 for 2 on the man advantage. The Eagles 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Special teams, again, the story for the Eagles, who've only scored 14 power play goals the whole year, and that may be something to work on in the offseason is improving those special teams where you're currently sixth in both places.
Right, and we'll see. I mean, yesterday you could argue that second period for Post was one of their best second periods of the season, so we just want to try to replicate that here. And, for better for worse, at this point yesterday, right, you were down 3-0, now you're down 2-0, so that gap is at least smaller. So if we can have another second period like yesterday, it could go very well.
Teams getting ready to take the ice as we get ready to start period number 2 when the teams do. St. Mike's will be going left to right as you look at your dial. They'll be in their their road purple and gold, going left to right, and the Eagles in their home whites will go right to left. And again, on this family weekend, on this senior day that was yesterday, and alumni weekend, just want to again thank everybody for their support throughout the season, particularly through football season and the men's and women's hockey seasons. I know basketball still has some games left before the tournament. Baseball is starting back up, but just a personal thank you from myself for everybody listening and watching, and meeting a lot of the parents yesterday as well. Always good to see everybody out here for that. As the hockey season is wrapping up, doing a couple of events in the spring, but not many, and then be back for football season and right back for hockey season again. So times will get busy again in the near future, but these past 5 to 6 months have been pretty busy covering a bunch of football and hockey games for soccer as well. I did a couple soccer games as well. So thank you again to everybody, and so we end the hockey season here today. Coach, I know you were meeting with a lot of people yesterday, a lot of kissing babies and shaking hands.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to catch up with a bunch of the alumni. There were a dozen or more around, so it speaks volumes for them who they are, that they're in the house and traveling to see their teammates, their ex-teammates.
Taylor and Murray on the draw, one by Murray, back to Noble off of Norling's leg. Chip back to Noble at center as he tries to dump it in. A little pushing and shoving, and Noble's the one who fell down at the end. Here's McFarland over the line with a shot. Stopped by Blodgett. He hugged the post as McFarland looking for the top corner, and Blodgett held the post and made the save. Good crowd on hand again this afternoon, Coach. I know we had close to a sellout yesterday. If not a sellout, looked pretty full today. A little less, but good crowd for a Sunday afternoon in a game that wasn't supposed to be played. It was supposed to be played on Friday.
Yeah, well, they're college students, and it's only probably about almost 3 o'clock, so a lot of them probably aren't up yet.
Very true.
On a Sunday.
Or just waking up,
or in the library, more likely.
There you go. McFarland spins around from far to near, takes the shot and scores. He spun around the net. He had time and space, way too much time, and shot it from the far side to the near side and gets the goal at 26 seconds of the third. And there's a 3-0 lead for Brendan McFarland, the junior out of Greeley, Colorado, his 13th of the season. And just like that, it's 3-0.
Yeah, defensively, Post has got to start closing some gaps. There's too much. There's just giving me too much time and space. It's not going to go well for you. You saw how you could play in that second period. Just got to get after it, dig down, find a way, and get back to that.
So the Eagles not starting the period the way they wanted, and again, McFarland way too much time. He went near side, the far side, came out, had plenty of space and time, and you can just pick a corner at that point. Logic couldn't do anything on it, and it's 3-0. Here's Murphy carrying it in over the line for the Eagles in the near side corner, gets checked off the puck, and back comes Toriainen, one of the first times we said his name today. I haven't seen him play much. Matty Toriainen, the sophomore out of Grapevine, Texas. Toriainen plays it up to McDonald. McDonald had to roll off his stick as he tried to feed Dukes. It bounces into Schwartz, who carries it into the corner. He feeds it down low, taken by Murphy, who's behind the net, trying to feed it up the wall to get things. But McDonald takes it away to Ciancio. Ciancio keeps it at the point, takes a shot through legs and bodies, and deflected wide and behind the net. Racker tries to play it, loses it up the wall, and it goes out the center where Beaver will play it. Beaver gives to Ciancio, gets to the red line, cross dumps right back in. Chasing after it is Nallman, but Cardo gets there first, rims it up to Gethings, and he'll go across the ice to Engdahl. Engdahl chasing it on right wing, taken out by Beaver with a nice check, and then the puck stolen by Bloom, and he'll bring it out. But then a big sort of collision between Barter and Bloom, and the puck bounces away toward the Eagle line, but then eventually dumped back into Barter. Barter closes in, shot through the leg. He runs into Manahan for good use. They're gonna say he was pushed in. Manahan is down on his stomach. I don't know if Barter hit him that hard. He was kind of pushed into him. I think 2 players are going to go here. Barter and might be Bloom who pushed him in. Let's see. There's also Gagnon who's down behind the net. A broken stick. I saw the referee give 2 fingers initially. Barter's definitely getting at least 2. This is all at 154. And we'll see if there's a second penalty. I think Gagnon's going to go in. Let's see, maybe not. Originally, the referee pointed at 2 people and pointed them toward the penalty box. Barter, though, is the only one in the penalty box. And now the penalty box opens for St. Mike's. And Gagnon goes in, so it's going to be 4-on-4 again. Conveniently, both Connor Barter for those 4-on-4s. But he does have to be careful. Murphy's talking to the officials, probably saying Barter got pushed into him. How could there be a penalty? But I'm not sure that Barter wasn't looking to make a little contact. It just got convenient that he got pushed in, so he's able to take Gagnon with him. But 4-on-4, all of this at 154, although now they've taken Gagnon's penalty off the board. Maybe they're giving Barter 4. Looks like they're going to give Barter 4. So there is a power play for St. Mike's. Their 3rd of the game. Looks like Barter's getting an extra 2. So my guess is maybe 2 for roughing, 2 for slashing, and then Gagnon gets 2 for roughing. Either way, the Eagles shorthanded for the 3rd time in the game. St. Mike's 1 for 2 on the man advantage. They opened the scoring on a power play goal. And now the Eagles will have to kill this off. But here's Mosher coming out of the zone 2-on-2 with Harshaw. He tries to chip it around Kantajas. Gets held off a little bit, and Manahan plays it into the corner. Mosher leads the hit on Ciancio and then goes back to his defensive position, killing off the first 20 seconds of the man advantage. He skates by Kantajas, who gives up to McFarland, the most recent goal scorer. McFarland in over the line. Gives it down to McCarthy. McCarthy back to McFarland. Back to Kantajas. They play catch. McFarland looks to go across. Instead, it bounces down through the slot, and they score. It bounced down to the goal line where it was centered in front by McCarthy to Ciancio. And at 3:34, it's 4-0.
Yeah, no chance for the goaltender on that one. That back door was unattended. No chance for goalie there.
So for Ciancio, his 8th of the season, a power play goal at 3:34. Knights go to 2 for 3 on the man advantage. Assists to McCarthy and McFarland. And the Knights take a 4-0 lead in the game they have to win to get the bye in the first round of the NE10 playoffs. Which will mean, by the way, the Eagles will have to travel to Manchester, New Hampshire on Tuesday should the score remain. And the Knights win the game in regulation. The Eagles will have to travel to Southern New Hampshire on Tuesday night for round 1 of the NE10 playoffs against Southern New Hampshire and the Penmen, who will have an extra day off and will be sitting at home waiting for the Eagles to arrive. 4-0. Even though Barter's penalty is still up on the scoreboard here, it is officially expired due to the goal. Norling carries it in. Long shot by Craig from inside the blue line, just goes wide. Murray tries to send it back into the Zamboni corner, and it's sent out to center where Craig will play it. 4-0 St. Mike's. Again, Ciancio, his 8th, the junior from Scituate, Rhode Island, from Quinn McCarthy and Brendan McFarland, and it's 4-0 at 3:34 on the power play. Puck sent out to center. Basket hanging a little bit is Ben Baxter. He picks it up in the zone, spins from near side to far side, centered it in front, and a big save there by Blodgett as Davis got a stick on it, and here comes Gethings, dumps it into the zone. Murphy chasing after it. Bice trying to play it as Murphy falls to the ground. A couple of 11s over there between Bice and Davis. Murphy pinches it into the corner, but Cantajas is the first one there. Beats a nice backhand to Bavis, who will try to get it out of the zone, and he does. Cardo will have to send it right back in, and the Eagles will have to tag up as everybody goes for a line change except Gethings. Gethings forces the pass, goes off the leg, sent right back into the zone. Harshaw, that shouldn't be an offsides though, because it went off the leg of Bavis, but the referees are saying it is. So they'll have to go back and tag up, do the Eagles, and then Schwartz was trying to send the puck to one of us, Coach, but the net blocked it from getting here, otherwise it was coming right into our laps.
Yeah, we would have had it. We would have had it.
Yeah, it was catchable. If my 16-year-old daughter could catch a baseball at a Pirates game, I could catch that puck.
Absolutely.
Mosher and Baxter on the draw to Manahan's right. 4:13 gone in period two, 4-0 St. Mike's. They came to a 2-0 lead after one. They've scored 2 goals in the first 3:34 to take a 4-0 lead. So the Eagles have a high hill to climb, not impossible, but a hill they have to start climbing one step at a time. Mosher wins the faceoff. Glasser keeps it in, takes a shot toward the net, but deflected. Eagles got to move a little bit quicker, get those pucks toward the net. Centered it in front, chasing it down as Harshaw takes a shot from the top of the slot and gets deflected wide. Howell tries to dump it back behind the net, taken away by Bavis, and out of the zone he comes. He'll take a hit from Harshaw for his troubles. Surgeon stops him at the red line, but Bavis with leg strength keeps powering forward. St. Mike's goes for a full change right in front of where the puck is, and then it comes to Glasser, who feeds a nice pass ahead to Howell. Howell coming in on left wing, trying to use the body and get toward the net, but a nice play and a much larger Cantajas to just stick it away from Howell and take the puck out of the zone. Long pass up ahead to Nauman, too far, and then sent right back into the Knight zone. No icing. Gagnon held off by Howell behind the net. Coming in to help out is Murray. Now 4 players behind the net, 2 Eagles, 2 Knights. Squirts free for Murray. He's being held off with the body of Bloom and comes over here to Alain, who chips it up the wall and out the center and back to Delory. Delory gives to Craig. He'll go cross dump, but instead deflects right on to Manahan, and he'll glove it for a face-off with 5:15 gone in period number 2 with the score 4-0. Face-off to Manahan's left between Murray and McFarland. Excuse me, it's Taylor actually who's in the draw. Murray and Taylor to Manahan's left. Murray just goes forward with it, tries to chop it on the net, and then McCarthy falls down before he gets it out of the zone. He does. Brewer kicked it right back in and then sent right back out the center, but Norling has an opportunity coming in on left wing over the line, looking to center. Instead goes behind the net, using the net as a defender, plays it back to the point to Cardo. Cardo looked back for Norling. He let it go behind the net where hits were galore back there. Norling picks it up in the Zamboni corner, being watched by 2 Knights. Norling trying to spin away from Beaver and Taylor. Taylor comes out with it from the slot and brings it forward. Dumps it in for McFarland, chasing after it. Cardo bodies off McFarland, chips it around. Brewer chasing after it, but kept in by Schwartz. Schwartz rims it around to the other side to McCarthy. McCarthy spins away from Murphy, trying to center it out in front, gives to Taylor, goes back to the point to Schwartz. Schwartz fakes the shot, gives the pass, behind the back fancy play by McCarthy, and sent a long shot taken from the point by Cantajas. Blocked in front. McCarthy behind the net, goes back to Schwartz. Schwartz sends it in, takes a hit for his troubles, gives to McCarthy, who elbows Murphy. Instead, the puck comes back to Cantajas, makes a fancy move at the point, looking to give to McCarthy. McCarthy now checked off by Brewer. Murphy in there as well. McCarthy, Murphy, and Brewer. 1 Knight, 2 Eagles, and the puck comes free over here to McDonald. McDonald goes to one knee, gets it around the boards behind the net to Brewer, and Brewer will try to play it out dangerously up the slot, but then taken by Norling. 2-on-2 over the line, now 1-on-3 because McQuegan went off on a line change. Norling just dumps it in instead of taking a shot, and the Eagles will change it up. Here's Torianen looking for McDonald, too far, and then the puck gets a fancy bounce to Dukes. Dukes drives it in, plays it in the corner, spins away, goes back to the point to Gagnon. Gagnon goes back to Dukes on the half wall. He'll just rim it around to McDonald behind the net. McDonald sends it the other side to the point to Dalton, who just came off the bench. Dalton sends it back down to Dukes. Dukes goes into the slot where the puck bounces around. Dukes tries to take a shot. He gets taken out. And Bice clears it to center, but hands it right to Ciancio. So back come the Knights again, leading 4-0. Barter in his own zone. Tries to give it back to Noble, but had it stolen by Dalton. Dalton Comes out the far side, now goes into the slot, goes to Ciancio looking for a pass more than a shot as he had backdoor Jack Davis. And then a hit from behind by Barter is going to lead to another power play for the Knights, as Barter's going to get 2 for cross-checking, but he's got to touch the puck first. And he did, and then he hits Bloom for his troubles. And that's going to get him at least 2, if not more, at 7:49. Barter's going to get at least 2 for the cross-check. That's what's gone up on the board. We'll see if they give him anything else. Looks like just a 2 at 7:49, and the Knights 2 for 3 on a man advantage go back to the power play, leading 4-0. Taylor and Murphy on the draw to Blodgett's left. They'll give the win to Taylor because McCarthy has the puck. McCarthy spinning in his own corner, looking to get away from the D of the Eagles. Shift back to Ciancio. Ciancio to McFarland. McFarland closes in with a shot that gets deflected. Never gets to Blodgett and sent all the way down the ice by Delory. Ciancio will chase after it into his own zone. 4-0 St. Mike's. 1:35 to go on a man advantage. Ciancio to McFarland. Too far. Engdahl gets to the puck first, trying to chop it at center and get it down. Goes to Delory, who goes D to D to Craig, who's got time and space. He's in his own zone, goes back behind his net, but being tracked actively by Taylor, and Taylor does a good job to take it away. Here's McCarthy. McCarthy centered it out in front. It goes off the leg of Delory. And the puck sent back behind his net. Taylor comes out the other side. Gives to Ciancio. Ciancio to McFarland. Back to Ciancio. Center point shot. Stopped right on. Puck now lay in the slot. Ciancio still has it. Turns around. Fires. Stopped again. In front. Ciancio gets taken down by Murphy. No call there. Shouldn't have been one. Back to the point to Gagnon. One-timer shot on a slap shot. He had it blocked and it never got to the net. Gagnon on left point with 41 to go on the man advantage. Goes behind the net to McCarthy. He spins away, gives to Gagnon, who's pinched down from his D position. He gets taken out by Craig. Delory rips it up the wall, but can't get it out. Kept in. Backdoor pass by Ciancio. Into the slot, bounces off the leg, and finally down the ice. Of note for the Eagles, Ben Cunin has replaced Drew Blodgett in the net, so Ben Cunin now in the goal for the Eagles. The sophomore out of Pembroke Pine, Florida, with a .552 goals against average and an .864 save percentage. And his goals against average, as we've talked about throughout the year, not indicative of his play, but he has replaced Drew Blodgett in this 4-0 game. Over the line is McDonald. McDonald cruising and centers it all the way through, looking for the stick of Bloom, but a little bit too far. The Eagles come back, power play over. Knights now 2 for 4 on the man advantage. Eagles will have to tag up as they're offsides here inside the Knight line, and they will with 10 minutes even to go in the period number 2. 4-0. Ben Cunin replacing Drew Blodgett in goal. Puck inside the Knight zone. Massive line change going on. Just avoiding too many men on the ice. Looked like 12 players were on the ice for the Knights, but they avoided it probably because they didn't have the puck. Back the other way comes Leal over the line. Takes a shot on net. Stopped by Cunin. Looks to give it down to Bavis. Bounces off his stick. Alana somehow comes up with the puck. He's in the dot, now below the dot. Players diving all over the place. A lane behind it. Finds Baxter in front. One-timer stopped right on by Cunin, who made a nice save there, and the puck sent all the way down. Won't get to the icing line as Schwartz took a superfluous route towards it. So they didn't give him the icing, and the Eagles now come away with the puck momentarily, and then a big hit right in front of us on Racker, and then a follow-up hit by Bavis on Brewer, and the Knights come away with the puck. McQuegan, he lays a hit on Schwartz. Has a lot of hitting going on, but back 2-on-1 come the other way, and a great save by Cunin on the 2-on-1 as Racker and Bavis came in. Racker took the shot, Bavis found a rebound, and Cunin came up with a big save, and looks like one of the Eagles is down in the corner. Is that Murphy who's down in the corner? Nope, it's Murray who's down in the corner. He can't get up. There's a delayed penalty upcoming on St. Mike's because of that, and then the penalty is finally called. Murray still down in the near side corner. Coach, I'm Mitch, what's happened in the corner here? I didn't see what happened. I don't know if
It was a check where the St. Mike's player ended up on top of Connor, so he may have just inadvertently, with all that weight on his back, driven him down, his head down to the ice.
Murray still down in the corner, far side inside the Eagles zone, the sophomore out of Bedford, New Hampshire. And a couple of his teammates go to help him up, so it looks more upper body than lower body where his pain is. Mosher is helping him get off the ice, as is Sturgeon. But the Eagles down 4-0 on the man advantage. They're 0 for 2 on the man advantage today. As Jack Bavis, the junior out of West Roxbury, Massachusetts, goes 2 minutes for roughing at 11:29.
Yeah, hopefully it's just the wind knocked out of him, because he took the full weight of the player on his back right down to the ice.
The Eagles want to get back into this game. They got to start here. They got to get at least one. Murphy, McQuegan, Craig Cardo, and Glassrud, the Eagle 5. Craig takes it up off the face-off. Showtime just misses the net with the tall Glassrud in front. Craig, back to Murphy, back to Craig. They play quick catch with it. So he has Cardo. Cardo and Craig now change positions. Cardo takes the puck off the pass from Craig. Closing in with time and space. Takes a shot that's blocked in front by Gagnon. And back comes Dukes. Dukes gets to center. He's boarded up against the wall and dumps it all the way down where Craig has a good puck movement by the Eagles to start the man advantage. Good shot attempt by Cardo. But the block in front by Gagnon prevented any kind of deflection or rebound.
Yeah, much more purposeful movement on that first flurry.
Murphy tries to get it into the zone, had it chopped at before he could by McFarland, and then McQuegan comes up with it, gives it to Craig, and he'll dump it in. McQuegan with an angle, gets behind the net, being pushed around by Bloom, sends it back to the point to Brewer, but through his legs and all the way down. The Eagles did good to get the puck, but couldn't get it any control, as that pass went through Brewer and all the way down. The first minute of the Eagles' third power play is already over. Murphy gets to the blue line, takes a hit, gives it to Bice. Bice back to Murphy, closing it, shoots! Leg save by Manahan, who held the post with his lower right leg, and Murphy couldn't elevate it. But Murphy got down low below the circles with the puck and opportunity. But Manahan's best save of the game comes at 7:17 remaining in period number 2 and 47 seconds remaining on the man advantage.
Yeah, much more deliberate on this power play, and you can see the effectiveness of it so far. Getting some good opportunities here.
And not, as I tell people, to overthink too much. They weren't overthinking, just making the plays. And they've had better puck control and opportunities. As Engdahl will take this face-off. Lost it, sent back to Noble though at the point as the Knights tried to clear it. Bice on the half wall, goes down into the corner, now goes behind the net to Gethings. Gethings looking for somebody out in front, instead finds Engdahl. Engdahl back to Noble center point. Goes down to Bice back in the corner. Back to Noble center point. Noble sends it toward the net, waited too long and blocked in front. Now the race for Racker as Racker tries to chase him, but Noble cornered him off and Brewer able to pick it up. Brewer comes back in with 20. In over the line, stops in the corner, spins away, looking to find Engdahl. He does give it to Engdahl in the corner. Engdahl comes back toward the point area, takes it to Noble, gives to Bice on the half wall with 10 on the man advantage. Bice toward the net with the deflection of Gething, stopped by Manahan. Engdahl centered it in front, looking for Brewer as the power play expires now. Brewer toward the net, looking for a deflection, got it from Engdahl, but he deflected it into the Zamboni corner. Bice is going to chase after it on the half wall, but it's picked up here by Torianen and gives to Baxter. Baxter comes in over the line. Baxter with a move around. Noble takes a shot, chopped at, deflected, rebound, centered it in front, and Kunin covers. As Baxter made a move, got a shot, came out the other side with a centering pass, and Kunin needed to make the save. Eagles now 0 for 3 on the man advantage, but better puck control and a couple of opportunities there with 6:13 remaining in period number 2. Baxter and Mosher in the draw to Kunin's left. 4-0 St. Mike's. Won by Baxter, back to Gagnon, sends it down around the boards to Leal. Leal comes out the near corner, back to Gagnon on right point, who just rims it right back around. No need to do anything super aggressive here from St. Mike's leading 4-0. Just want to hem him in even though it's the second period. Mosher looks for Howell, gets it to Howell, tipped by Howell, goes into Manahan, who tries to clear. He'll get it to the blue line, not out now, pushed out by the aggressive Leal, and Deloria will play it up in the air and chips it in. Howell, good job to pick it up in the corner, chasing behind the net, using his body, tries to spin it out in front to Mosher, just missed him, and then the puck not cleared as Delory kept it in on left point. Goes across the ice to Masha, who tries to get too fancy and go back across to Harshaw, and it's picked up and sent to center. Need to shoot that puck there. Had some lanes, instead making too many passes. Puck sent back into the Eagle zone, but the Knights are changing, and then down goes Sturgeon on his own. Nobody within 20 feet of him. He fell into the boards. Hopefully he's okay, as he gave the puck to Delory. And the Eagles will have to restart again with 5 minutes to go in the second period. 4-0 St. Mike's. Sturgeon to Delory, looking for Harshaw. Goes off his leg, bounces at center ice, gives to Howell. Howell will dump it in, and Mosher will chase after it. Mosher picks it up on the far side, then falls down as a good play by Kansas to take the puck away, chips it up the wall and all the way out the center. Ricardo will have to win the race against McFarland, and he does. McFarland chasing Cardo behind his own net where the puck is, and then stolen by Taylor. Taylor in the St. Mike zone on the half wall, trying to get around the defense of the Eagles. Crowther coming down is Schwartz, and the centering pass in front by McFarland blocked. McCarthy behind the net loses the puck to Craig. Craig avoids the big hit, gives to Crowther, and sends it out to Barter. Barter looking for a streaking Engdahl. He's going to get to Engdahl, but he's going to be on the goal line. Engdahl spinning away from the hit of Kansas Jazz, tries to kick it back to Crowther. He gets to Crowther behind it, in front to Barter. It goes off his leg. Craig tries to pinch in and keep the puck in, but it'll squirt out to center. Ricardo will dump it in. The Eagles will have to tag. Engdahl and Barter collide into each other, so Crowther will chase it down. Long pass out the center off the stick of Torianen and sent all the way in to the Eagles zone, where Torianen wins the puck from Glassrud. Then he's pinned to the wall by Glassrud. Torianen goes down, gets back up, taken away by McDonald. McDonald to Dukes, chopped by Craig. Murphy lays a hit, but he takes more of it than the hit he tried to deliver, but the puck comes out to Crowther. He makes a fancy move around McDonald, dumps it into the Zamboni corner inside the Knight zone. Played by Beaver all the way around. Dukes is trying to wait for it on the half wall. It's taken by Glassrud, nicely pinching in. Into the corner goes Tanner Glassrud. He goes around the net, has it checked away from him. Played back to the point, though, to Bice, who had it roll off his stick and out the center. Glassrud coming back in over the line, playing forward at this point, as he seems to be on the right wing. Being aggressive offensively. Puck gets chipped to the point, pinching in is Brewer. Brewer tries to keep it in momentarily, but Nauman and his aggression gets it out the center to Dukes. Murphy plays it at center, being held off by Dukes, using one arm to keep going, and he does. Gethings takes it in over the line, gets around his opposing number, Beaver. Tries to center it out in front. Gethings takes it out. Murphy in the Zamboni corner with Beaver and the referee. Murphy fighting hard. 3 Knights, 2 Eagles on the half wall. And the outmanned Eagles lose the puck to Nauman, and Nauman dumps it out the center. And then the Eagles dump it right back in, trailing 4-0 with 2:45 to go in the second. McDonald touches it on the other side of the red line, so no icing. Kunin picks it up behind his net, gives to Delory. He sees a long pass to Norling. Here's an opportunity, 2-on-1. Norling chips it into McQuegan, but they chipped it too close to the goal, and it was able to be sticked aside by Manahan and sent back out the center. Good aggressive effort by Racker as he tries to push it toward the goal. Sends it behind his net to Leal. Leal looking to center it out in front. Racker goes over there to get it. Racker, 5'11", from Columbia, South Carolina. Shot taken toward the net, though, by Elaine as he closed in on a loose puck. He takes out Norling, but here comes Murphy 1-on-2. Excuse me, that's Harshaw. Harshaw over the line, waits for help, goes behind his back, backhands it around the boards to McQuegan. McQuegan has it, goes off his stick and taken away by Bloom. Bloom sends it right back to center. Big hit into the Eagle bench was Bloom. And I'm going to call icing with 1:54 remaining in the second period. 4-0 St. Mike's. And a face-off inside the Knight zone to Manahan's left. Barter, Crowther, and Engdahl, the line who scored the 2 goals yesterday for the Eagles, on the ice right now. Bloom in the draw for the Knights. Bloom wins that draw cleanly to Alain, who rims it all the way around looking for Wheel. Takes a gigantic hit by Engdahl, and a shot taken from the point by Sturgeon, gloved down by his opposing number, Ashton Alain, and he sends it over to Gagnon. Gagnon. Long pass looking for somebody. It goes off a leg and goes behind the Eagle net, where Kunin plays it away from Sturgeon over to Crowther, goes back to Sturgeon behind his net with 90 seconds to go in period 2. Good effort, though, by McCarthy, playing heavily between Sturgeon and Crowther, not allowing them to get it out, but the Eagles finally do. Here's Barter. Over the line, having trouble playing it, avoids the hit in the middle, sends a shot toward the net, looking for the deflection of Crowther, and Crowther recenters it out in front. Engdahl takes a shot back. Rebound, they score! It's Barter, who found a chopping, bouncing puck and sort of bunted it into the goal. And at 18:46, the Eagles get one back. It's Connor Barter to Brad Marchand of the NE10. Gets his goal in his final home game, and the Eagles make it 4-1.
Yeah, and those are the kind of goals that they're going to be able to score. You know, they're not going to be super pretty finesse goals all the time, but just that was a situation where there were pucks to the net, bouncing around, a blowout number, and got rewarded for it.
So Barter, his 5th of the season. Assist to Crowther and Engdahl. And again, that line scored both goals yesterday. One-timer by McCarthy off the face-off. Stopped in front. Here come the Eagles again. Bice trying to get around the defense of Beaver. 2-on-1 if he hurries. He's got Gethings going toward the net. Spins in at Bice in front. He had Gethings and just missed it. Winning behind. Here comes McFarland back over the line. Pace has suddenly picked up here in the last 50 seconds. Galori spins with it in his own zone, gets it to Bice, and out come the Eagles again. 3-on-2 if they hustle. Here comes Bice over the line, leaves it for Murphy. Murphy closing in with the shot that goes off the body of Gagnon, right to Noble, who took a bouncing puck and tried to sort of highlight, cessed it back in toward the net. Instead had it bounce out to center. Here's Murphy taking the puck back into the zone, runs over Ciancio for his efforts, throws him down as Ciancio tried to lay a hit, and an icing on the Knights as they dump it all the way in. And somehow the icing was waved off. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Brewer behind his own net with 10. Looks like he's just going to be content to wait there as the period is about to expire. Gethings was sort of one last rush, but then dumps it in with no time left to go get it, and it's 4-1 after 2 periods. The Eagles get a late goal on Connor Barter's 5th from Crowther and Engdahl at 18:46. So maybe some momentum for the Eagles as they go to the third, trailing by 3. But Barter doing what he does. He's taken a couple of bad penalties, laid some good hits, and then finds a way to get a goal.
Yeah, just a great effort. I mean, you know that Connor Barter is trying. He's working hard. Sometimes he goes over that edge, but then again, you can count on him in those types of situations very often to bury a puck.
Coach, what do the Eagles need to do now? Trailing by 3, somewhere similar situation, but they only have 20 minutes to make a frantic comeback this time. They see what they need to do to get goals. Can they do it over the last 20 minutes?
Well, I mean, here's the thing with this game. So obviously, you know, you want to win a game. You got to come up with 4 goals in the third period to win a game. But the bigger picture is you need to win the period, regardless of winning the game, because the way the playoffs are set up, it's essentially 3 games of sudden death. Right? You win, you're in. You lose, you're out, regardless of which game you get to. So it's setting the tone, getting some sort of pace going, and getting some sort of momentum so that you win the period, and you can hopefully carry that forward to, I think it's Tuesday.
Correct.
They play the first playoff game. So that's what the goal is. I mean, the win or not, you want to win the period. That's got to be the number one goal.
So that's what the Eagles will go discuss here in the second intermission, with St. Mike's leading 4-1 after 2 periods play. We'll be back in 2 minutes with your look around the NE10. We'll do a quick look around the NE10 and just kind of give you an update as to where we go for the playoffs as we get ready for NE10 playoffs that start on Tuesday at various locations. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles.
Walking the path of integrity, forever embracing a life in balance, standing tall and confident, leaders in the classroom, community, and field of play, with clear vision and a full heart, looking to the future, devoted to the student athlete, representing the Northeast. Diverse in composition, united by our values. Determined by nature, uncompromised by choice. We are the NE10.
Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut, where the Eagles trail St. Mike's 4-1, but they get a goal with 1:14 to go in period number 2 to cut into the 4-0 deficit. And we'll see if they're able to have a strong third period, maybe find their way to get back into the game. Trailing 4-1. Second period intermission, as we always do, we look around the NE10, and this time we'll just keep it kind of on the briefer side in regards to the upcoming playoffs, and that's going to be brought to you by Post University and this 21 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From volleyball to baseball to hockey, there's something for everyone to enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Around the NE10, let's talk about the playoffs in the NE10 and what that's going to look like. So the 4-5 matchup is set. It's Franklin Pierce hosting St. A's, a 4-5 game up at Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce finished the regular season 10-10 in conference. Well, let's give the correct standings. 10-10, 0-1-1. So 10 wins, 10 losses, 0 ties, 1 overtime win, 1 overtime loss. So the technical standings are 10-10, 0-1-1. They are 13-14 overall, and they ended up with 30 points in the NE10. St. A's has 28 points. They're 7-11, 2-0-5. So 7 wins, 11 losses, 2 ties, 0 overtime wins, and 5 overtime losses. They are 9-17-2 overall. They're the 5 seed. So those two will play on Tuesday night up at Franklin Pierce. The Eagles are locked into the 6th seed with their current 2-16-1 record and 9 points. Really not going to be able to catch anybody with one period left to play, and trailing St. A's by 19 total points. They'll play the 3 seed, which will either be St. Michael's if they hold on to win today or win in overtime. St. Mike's, as we've talked about, is 12-7-0-5-0, has 31 points. This is their game in hand right now. They're trailing Southern New Hampshire by 1 point, who is the 2 seed. Southern New Hampshire is 10-9-1-1-2. 12-13-2 overall. They have 32 points. And congratulations, by the way, to the regular season champion, Assumption Greyhounds, 16-4-0-3-0, and 23-7 overall. They have 45 points. Ran away with the regular season title this year here in the NE10. Congratulations to Assumption, who also swept the Eagles this year. They have 45 points, so good job by Assumption. They'll be the 1 seed. They have an absolute bye. They'll play the lower seed of the remaining teams in the first round. Really the battle right now between St. Mike's and Southern New Hampshire. One's going to be the 2, one's going to be the 3. If you have a 3, you play Tuesday night, you host Post. If you're the 2, you have a bye, and we'll play somebody Friday or Saturday in the semifinals this coming weekend. On the statistics front, I wanted to congratulate Ronnie Paragallo from Assumption, who far and away led the league in points, bucking for MVP of the NE10. He ended up with 45 points, 23 goals, 21 assists. He also leads the league in goals and tied for the league in assists. So he doesn't outright win the Triple Crown in goals, points, and assists because he's tied with his teammate John Wernley for 21 assists, but Triple Crown winner in Ronnie Paragallo in goals, points, and assists. His teammate was second in points with 31. And Brennan McFarland, who we're seeing today, tied for third with 30 points. He actually has a goal and an assist today, so he's actually up to 32. So McFarland actually, let me rephrase that. Brennan, based on today's standings, Brendan McFarland is now second in the NE10. This was as of this morning. Brendan McFarland second in points in the NE10. He's got 32 with a goal and an assist today. He's now second in the NE10, but he trails Ronnie Paragallo by 12 in the NE10 point standing. So congratulations to Ronnie Paragallo, bucking for NE10 Player of the Year. He's also plus 19. He leads in plus minus. So not sure there's going to be anyone close to passing him in the NE10 Player of the Year standings. On the goal front, as we're seeing today, Cole Manahan, 2.66 goals against average coming in. He leads in save percentage as well with a 937 save percentage. He might end up being goaltender of the year in the NE10. So that's a look around the NE10. We get ready for the NE10 playoffs, which will start Tuesday, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. Our only question is who will be the 3 seed. Will it be St. Mike's, who currently lead 4-1. And if they win, they'll be the 2 seed. And if they lose, they will be the 3 seed, with Southern New Hampshire taking the 2. But we'll find that out in the next 20 minutes of gameplay. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our recap of the second period. In 2 minutes, you're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles.
Walking the path of integrity, forever embracing a life in balance, standing tall and confident, leaders in the classroom, community, and field of play, with clear vision and a full heart, looking to the future, devoted to the student athlete, representing the Northeast. Diverse in composition, united by our values, determined by nature, uncompromised by choice. We are the NE10.
Second intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where St. Mike's leads 4-1. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney here with you, and recap of the second period brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For you, Post is personal. For more information on Post University's information, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. St. Mike's, who led 2-0 coming into the second period, made real quick work to make it 3-0 as Brendan McFarland scored at 26 seconds unassisted and gave the Knights a 3-0 lead. A little over 3 minutes later, a power play goal by David Ciancio, assisted by Quinn McCarthy and the aforementioned Brendan McFarland, now second in NE10 in points. And at 3:34, the Knights took a 4-0 lead. Teams played even over the next 15 minutes or so, where the Eagles finally get a break. That line of Barter, Engdahl, and Crowther do it again. They've scored all the goals this weekend. And after a centering pass by Crowther, a shot by Engdahl, and then a bouncing sort of bunt by Connor Barter, he put it in after taking a couple of penalties and making a few big hits for his 5th goal of the season. And the Eagles got on the board and trailed 4-1 at 18:46. Shots on goal in the second period for St. Mike's 12, a 2-period total of 20. For the Eagles 5, a 2-period total of 13. Faceoffs, the Eagles won 7-6 in that period, but trailed 16-14 overall in the faceoffs. Coach, I'm not sure they're getting a ton of offensive zone time, the Eagles, and as we talked about, they need to win this period. But they trailed by 3, their last home period of the season, getting ready for the playoffs. They know a couple of things. One, that they're going to play Southern New Hampshire on Tuesday if the score holds, or if they find a way to make a comeback and really frustrate the Purple Knights, they'll play them up in Vermont on Tuesday.
Yeah, those are your two scenarios. And like I say, the goal here is to win the period and to try to create some positive energy for the bus ride, regardless of who your opponent's going to be on Tuesday.
Always interesting to see an official go running by you. Must have had a long wait in the bathroom.
Something.
But either way, hopefully he's getting himself back on the ice. Again, a good crowd on hand. And again, just want to thank everybody for listening to us on the NE10 Now Network this season and throughout all the games on the youtube.com/GoPostEagles channel, which is new this year. So 2 different opportunities to listen and watch us, either on youtube.com or on the NE10 Now Network on the men's side of the Hockey Ledger. Other places to watch other games as the Post-University Eagle program continues to move forward through our broadcasting networks and channels.
Yeah, I think YouTube has been pretty well received from the people I've spoken to. So I think it's a nice addition by our athletic department.
Also good to get the alerts. You get the alerts right off the screen there to know that the game's on YouTube versus having to go to either the CACC network or the NE10 Now network. But either way, good to have the access, and we've definitely seen the viewership go up over this season. So we thank you all for spending part of your weekend or weeknights with us throughout the season. And again, baseball and basketball still going on, softball upcoming, lacrosse. A lot more games to find on youtube.com/GoPostEagles during the spring season. But here we wrap up the regular season and the home schedule for the men's hockey team here in the face-off won by the Knights. They send it in to Ben Kunin, who replaced Drew Blodgett in the second period, and he shoulders it into the netting behind him a mere 6 seconds in to period number 3. Harshaw and Taylor on the draw to Kunin's left. 4-1 St. Mike's, 6 seconds into the third period. Taylor wins it to McCarthy, who lost the puck as it rolled by him, trying to send Norling breaking away, but Gagnon's going to win the race. Gagnon faked sort of chipping it onto Manahan, then played it behind the net. Lyon took a hit for his troubles and kept him by Cardo. Sent a bouncing puck toward the net, blocked in front. Somebody went falling down into the corner. It was Taylor. And out to McQuegan, who had an opportunity. Recentered by Norling through the crease. It's bouncing there. Sent back to the point to Brewer on the left side. Brewer toward the net looking for a deflection. It's bouncing again. Looking for a slash at it was McQuegan. Harshaw goes off the ice on a line change, and out comes Taylor. Taylor brings it out for the Knights, gets the center, makes a veer and carries it in over the line, avoids the hit of Cardo, goes into the corner. Cardo now chasing Taylor. Taylor looking to center, goes back to Cantajas at the point. He sends a shot toward the net. It's blocked in front, and they're going to call a hand pass with 53 seconds gone in period number 3. So the Eagles good pressure to start the period.
Yeah, that's how you have to come out, right? Like I say, you're trying to win a period. You have to come out. You got to push. You got to press.
Murphy lost that draw to McDonald, but Bice ends up taking the puck away and gets to the red line and dumps it in. Bice has an angle, chasing after it into the near side corner, spins away from Cantajas, gives to Gethings. Gethings looking to find somebody, goes behind the net. Murphy's taken down, and both referees raise their arms up, and the Eagles will have a power play. 1:10 into period number 3. Their third of the game, and a good opportunity to get to within 2 goals. If they can score here, as Mosley Schwartz, the junior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, gets 2 for cross-checking at 1:10.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good quality dump there by Tommy. He puts it in a good spot where he's able to recover it and pay dividends.
Ryland Dukes and Jack Engdahl in the draw to Manahan's left. Won by Dukes, but Gethings might be the first one after it. He does. He tries to get it to Bice. Around the corner, he does. Noble tried to get to it first, but chipped out of the zone nicely by Jack McDonald, the junior out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. I'm going to tell you, that sounds like a place where you play a lot of good hockey. Baraboo, Wisconsin.
It does.
Sounds cold, and you play outdoors a lot. Bice over the line, looking for Engdahl. McDonald watching Engdahl, but it ends up back to the point to Brewer. Brewer toward the net, looking for the deflection of Gethings, and went way wide. Noble pinches in, sends it to the corner to Gethings. He goes behind the net. Excuse me, that was Bice who went to Gethings. Picked up by Engdahl, who overskated it. Now goes back in there where the puck is pinned on the wall. 6 players hanging out down below the goal line with the puck right on the wall. Engdahl desperately trying to come out with it, and he does. He gets it to Brewer. Time, space, fires a shot, low corner, stopped by Manahan. Rebound, Noble tried to play it toward the net, couldn't, got it to Engdahl though, and then chop checked out by Ryland Dukes and all the way down the ice. Brewer had a lot of time, looked for the low corner, but couldn't get it above the right pad of Manahan, who's played well, again bucking for goalie of the year in the NE10 with his save percentage and goals against average. Brewer gives to Murphy. Murphy on left wing with some speed. Gets around Ciancio, dumps it in, tries to beat Beaver to it. Beaver got there. Ciancio rimmed it up the boards, but Craig will keep the bouncing puck in momentarily. McFarland goes down, taken down by Craig. Centered it in front, looking for several Eagles, and 4 of them couldn't get there. It goes out of the zone. Murphy brings it in over the line with McQuegan. Looks for McQuegan, dumps it down behind the net with 25 to go on the man advantage. Murphy chases after it, picks it up in the near corner. Murphy comes to the half wall and on top of the circle, gets down to McQuegan. Quick pass in front as Barter tried to chip it to McQuegan, and it goes through the slot area and all the way out to center. That should do it for the Eagle man advantage. They got to tag up. Craig comes right back in. One last chuck. He gets taken down, avoids a big hit. McQuegan then goes down by Craig. Murphy tries to send it toward the net. Power play officially over. 0 for 3. Barter tries to rim it in front quickly for McQuegan, but out came Braden Norman, who had it roll off his body and stick, and then a dump down the ice by TJ Beaver. Too short for an icing, and 3.5 minutes gone in period number 3. Still 4-1. The Eagles now 0 for 3 on the man advantage. Here's Trey Delory with some speed, gets to center, dumps it in. It goes around the boards. Howell will try to get there first. He does. He chips it behind the net to Mosher, takes a big hit, goes flying. Hit by Ashton Alan, and out come the Dukes. Over the line comes Racker. Racker tried to dump it toward the goal, stopped by Sturgeon, but then played right back to Nauman. Nauman looking for the backdoor play of Racker. Had it deflected in the air by Delory. Delory takes the body on Schwartz and gets the puck out the center. Cantajas avoids Mosher, gets to the red line, dumps it in. Simple plays right now by St. Mike's, who leads 4-1. And flying down on his own, took a edge off, was Alex Dalton. He slammed into the boards, but able to get back up on his own, and he's back skating at center. Here's Harshaw. Long cross-ice pass, and that's one of the things Eagles have to be careful of. St. Mike's is going to hunker back in what seems like a 2-3 defense.
Yeah, I mean, St. Mike's right now is probably going to possess the puck for as much as possible, dump to safe zones, soft zones in the areas, and just try to go easier on the forecheck. So that gives potentially some opportunity for Post to have a better job, an easier job to break out of their zone, but they're going to have to attack with numbers in order to counter the neutral zone and the defensive zone.
Face off to the left of Kunin. Shot taken toward the net, deflected by Taylor as Ciancio took it from right point. McFarland back to Beaver, back to McFarland. McFarland goes across to Ciancio. Nice pass, looking for another deflection as Taylor came out the other side, and it went wide. McFarland, second in the NE10 in points with 32. Comes away with it, goes across to Ciancio. Ciancio looking for Taylor, ends up going all the way to McCarthy. McCarthy picks it up, now goes back to the center point, sends a shot toward the net that's kicked off Brewer's leg, and Sturgeon gets it out to center where Ciancio will have to try to rim it back in quickly with the Eagles going off on a line change. Bouncing puck goes by Kunin. Brewer there first, chips it up the wall to Glassrud, and here comes Tanner Glassrud. Looking for Crowther, 3-on-3 as the Eagles come over the line. Leaves it for Barter. Barter back to Crowther. Nice pass there, but Crowther couldn't handle it. In front to Howell, who's chipping at it next to the net. It's bouncing. Where is it? It's now to the right of Manahan, and the Knights are able to play it. looking for Gagnon, but good play by Barter, who will pick up the puck in the slot as it's given away. Barter cruising in, trying to go through too many people, then he's taken down, no call, and the puck back out to center, Ricardo. Ricardo has to wait for Barter to get back on sides, still chopping at it right in center ice area, and finally chipped in by Dukes into the Eagle zone. Ricardo rims it around looking for Engdahl, a little bit too far, but Engdahl will chase it down on the other side, coming out on left wing. Engdahl gets around one defender, but not the second, and has the puck taken away and sent back to Cardo. Cardo sends it all the way down onto Manahan, who will glove it in a field position play and lead to a face-off inside the Knights zone with 14:03 to go in the third period. Knights still trail 4-1.
Yeah, Post is going to have to find some way to get into an attack mode here, like I say, without numbering, because St. Mike's is just going to play strong defensive hockey at this point.
Murphy on the draw. Wins the draw, but then the puck ends up getting taken away by Kansajas, who tries to go around the defense of Craig. He chips it in onside for Racker. Racker fights it down behind the net. Craig being fought off hard by Nauman. Racker back there as well, so 4 players there, 2 Eagles, 2 Knights fighting for it. Racker spins away with it, goes off of Nauman, pops up in the air. Craig desperately trying to get it out from behind his own net. Kept in by Beaver, who takes a shot deflected wide. Nauman down there again goes back to Racker, who they list as 5'11", but looks a lot bigger than 5'11", does Nick Racker. Sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina. Definitely looks bigger than 5'11". Puck centered in front. Now behind the net goes Bloom. He goes behind his back to Racker. Racker comes out to the top of the circle, spins around, takes a shot, had it blocked, goes back to Ciancio at the point. It's deflected and gloved as it went off of the bare hand of Casey Sturgeon, his bare left hand, and deflected dangerously into Kunin, who made the save. That's got to sting a little bit. It's like trying to catch a baseball with your bare hand, going 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, that rubber is very hard, very cold.
Baxter and Cardo on the draw? Cardo taking the draw, as the Eagles play 3 defensemen in this setup. Sort of the power play setup. I don't remember, Coach, have we seen Connor Murray since he went down in the second period? Maybe that's part of the reason here. I don't think we've seen Connor Murray since.
No, we have not.
Looked like he had an upper body injury in the second period as he drew a penalty, but I don't believe we've seen him since.
No, I'm trying to see if I can't tell if he's on the bench or not.
Brewer gets it out of the zone, tries to get it past the defense of Leo, and Leo fighting for it, pushes it in, but the Knights are offsides, and Baxter continued on with it, and he's definitely offsides because the arm was up before. And you wonder, as you move forward into next season, maybe that's something the Eagles look to do, is play Glasser more as a forward versus a defenseman, because he's been played that setup as a forward just a moment ago.
Yeah, I mean, every year is a different year, right? I mean, a big part of it is driven by your recruiting class and what kind of shape players come back in and how they look. So there's certainly options.
Noble tried to glove it down in his own zone, but gave it away to McCarthy. McCarthy spinning with it on the far side, gives back to the point to Allan, goes back to McCarthy, quick passing to Taylor. Taylor takes a shot that's blocked by Engdahl, controlled by Engdahl, and then he gets thrown down by Taylor. McCarthy now center point, takes a shot toward the net, blocked this time by Barter. Barter trying to get back up, but feeling the pains of blocking that shot. McCarthy looks to spin it to Gagnon, gives it to McFarland. McFarland does a fancy behind-the-back backhand play and got it to McFarland somehow on the ice. McCarthy somehow on the ice, and here comes Barter. Barter, 1-on-3, angry because he blocked the puck, tried to take McCarthy out with the puck in his skates. On his way to driving, but good shift by Barter blocking that shot, and then fighting through all of that to get it out of the zone. Puck sent all the way down. This will probably be an icing, and it is. And Coach, just quickly on Connor Barter. We talked about it post-game yesterday. It seems like he's been injured the entire season and still just fighting through it, and his aggressiveness and his emotions has just carried the play.
Yeah, I think if you could bottle that adrenaline, you'd have something there, because you see him take a puck to that tough soft spot in between the bottom of your pad and the top of your tongue on your skate, and it looks like, wow, that's really bad, and 10 seconds later, he's making plays.
Craig off the faceoff gets it over to Sturgeon, who took a shot toward the net that popped up in the air in the slot. Looking for it is Gagnon, but it ends up on the stick of Mosher. Mosher tries to get it down in the corner to Howell. He does. Tried to refeed it to Mosher, and Mosher takes another big hit. He has been getting pounded today, but there's a delayed penalty on St. Mike's. That might be interference, and I think that's what they're calling. But Ryan Mosher has taken 4 or 5 gigantic hits today. Like body blows. He might need to look into a career in professional wrestling the way he's been taking those hits today, but popped up after each one, this time drawing another penalty. The Knights' the Eagles' 4th power play of the game. They're 0 for 3, and now going on their 4th man advantage at 8:47.
Good time to get one here with a lot of game left, really.
Referee's talking, though. Are they looking to give him more than 2 minutes? A lot of talking for what should be a simple 2-minute interference penalty. And they're going to give it to Taylor. Zach Taylor, the senior from Hanover, Massachusetts, gets 2 for interference. But 3 or 4 times today, Mosher's been just blasted into the boards on the far side of behind the net, and he's just kind of going flying. If there were any more home games, you might do a chalk outline the way he's been getting hit today.
Yeah, he's been getting hit pretty hard, but to his credit, popping up every time.
Cardo from the point, deflected by McQuegan right on with a right head save by Manahan. Good tip by McQuegan off the Cardo shot. McQuegan takes another shot toward the net, deflected again, just goes behind the net as Barter got his stick on it. And again, Barter right back out there after blocking his shot a little while ago. Barter goes down, puck goes back to the point to Cardo. Cardo pinches down, goes back to the point to McQuegan, who takes his place, takes a shot toward the net, blocked by McDonald, and sent all the way down the ice. Good initial face-off win and shot and deflection by McQuegan off the Cardo shot, but the Eagles had control, tried to take another shot, had it blocked, and sent all the way down the ice. Craig chasing after it in the near side corner. Barter comes to help him out. Barter picks it in the corner, goes back to Craig. Craig toward the net, looking for a deflection again. He got it by Murphy, but Manahan stood there. Ciancio blocked the way of Manahan as well, and I think Barter might be getting a penalty here, which will negate the power play at 9:34. Slashing on Barter, 9:34, and that's his 4th penalty of the game, and the Eagles lose their power play 47 seconds in, and we'll play 4-on-4 for 1:13.
And that's fortunate for St. Michael's because it's interesting, right? Once you get into that defensive mode where you're kind of hanging back a little bit, they were not nearly as aggressive on that penalty kill as they were in the previous penalty kills, and allowed some really good scoring opportunities by post.
4-on-4, and Engdahl wins the faceoff to Noble, looking ahead for Bice. A little bit too far. Chopped at by Beaver, taken back by Engdahl. Beaver then tries to send it up the wall past Bice. Struggling to do it, he goes D to D, and end up on the stick of Ty Bloom. Bloom to Ciancio, who carries ahead, over the line, keeps moving, gives to McFarland. McFarland spins away, holds, waits on right wing, gives it down to Ciancio. Ciancio, bad angle shot, stopped by Cuneen, who almost went too far outside the net and left a bit of an angle, but made the right pad save, and the puck out the center. Engdahl, 4-on-4 as the hitting's picked up a little bit. Ciancio, D to D to Beaver with 30 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. He struggles to get it. Engdahl picks it up in the corner. Engdahl avoiding the hit of Toriainen, but then lost it to Toriainen. He'll carry it out the center. Matty Toriainen gets the center, spins away, waits, gives behind the back to Gagnon dangerously, and the puck ends over here to land on the near side, but he'll wait, hold, wait for Racker to get onside and dump it in around the boards where Toriainen gets it. Toriainen pinned by Brewer, nicely done to the wall. Lost the puck to Delory with 3 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4, and now St. Mike's is on their 5th power play of the game, but I think they might have just lost it. So a very brief 3-second power play for St. Mike's. They'll fall to 2 for 5 on the man advantage as Nick Racker, the sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina, takes a holding penalty, and we go back to 4-on-4 for 44 seconds, and then the Eagles will go on a power play, barring anything else, for 1:16. Power play number 5 for the Eagles upcoming if they get there. The 5th power play for the Knights, a mere 3 seconds, and all this happens at 10:50 of the third.
Yeah, not a great penalty to take because you're nowhere near your defensive zone, and you were going to be on the power play for about another 40-some to 50-some seconds.
Howell in the draw wins it back, taking the Sturgeon. Sturgeon goes to Craig. Craig spins away from Cantajas, looking to go toward the net, gave the puck away, and here comes Dukes looking ahead to Cantajas, and he's got to break away from the blue line in. Cantajas in, stopped by Cuneen's right pad, and covered by Ben Cuneen. Defenseman Cantajas, who scored yesterday, has got 12 goals on the season. He had a breakaway from the blue line in. Looked for the short near side, but a right pad save by Ben Cuneen keeps this 4-1 with 8:54 remaining in the third. Nice save there, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely good save there, too. But, again, your offside D has to be aware, and they've got to set center back off in order to help out their strong side D.
Norling looking for Cardo. He's got Norling breezing to the net. He goes in backhand, stopped by Manahan, who makes an equally difficult save on Norling after Cuneen made a save on Cantajas. So back-to-back excellent saves by both goaltenders. And Manahan's a little bit bigger, keeping this a 4-1 game. And then Beaver will send it all the way down the ice. This should be an icing, and it is. Although the referee blew the whistle way early on the icing, as Brewer wasn't even at the circles yet when he blew the whistle.
Benefit of the doubt.
That was almost like an angry whistle for the referee. Like, really? You're going to send this all the way down? So the 4 Knights have to stay out there. Engdahl, Noble, Brewer, and Bice. The Eagle 4 in 3 seconds. They'll go on their 5th power play. They're 0 for 4, but they'll have a minute and 16 of power play time in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think they're going to use their timeout, get fresh. They recognize it's an important draw.
And I think the referees are trying to figure out the right 4 people to have on the ice for the Knights as well.
Yeah.
Timeout, St. Mike's.
Well, it's a good play because it's a draw you want to win because in 3 seconds you're going to be, right? Someone's going to be killing, so.
Timeout, St. Mike's at 11:32 of the third period. That's 8:28 to go in the third period. Just because this one makes me happy, out-of-town scoreboard. The Islanders lead the Rangers 3-1 in the first period in the outdoor series at MetLife. Got to start winning somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need like a 19-5 run to make me happy.
Well, some games left. Only February.
Only February, but you got to pick up wins somewhere, and what better way to start by beating the Rangers this afternoon down at MetLife Stadium in the Stadium Series. But timeout over. 4-on-4 for 3 seconds. Barter will come out of the box. And then the Eagles will go to their 5th power play where they are 0 for 4. Eagles trailing by 3, 4-1. Again, the final home game of the regular season for the Eagles. Playoffs will start Tuesday, either at St. Mike's or at Southern New Hampshire. Either way, at least a 3-hour bus ride.
Yep.
Engdahl on the draw against McDonald. Even as it kind of just sat there, but finally taken by Alan and dumped all the way down the center. Brewer gives to Bice, looking for Gethings. Puck at center ice now. Eagles on the power play. Engdahl carrying it in, fake carrying it in, and dumped it in, rimmed it all the way around. Gethings has to chase after it. Gethings didn't win the race. Elaine beat him to it, so now the puck just kind of frozen in the corner, and a bit of a rugby scrum pushing it from the corner to behind the net. Engdahl got it behind the net, but Gagnon chipped it away. Dukes tries to rim it out. Brewer racing over to that side, kept it in momentarily, and then Engdahl lost it and got sent down by Gagnon. Full line change for the Knights. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Brewer behind his own net. Brewer goes around the falling Bloom. Over the line comes Brewer, leaves it for Noble, but read nicely by McFarland, and the puck sent all the way down the ice by Bloom. Cuneen leaves it for Engdahl. Cuneen replaced Drew Blodgett in period number 2. Hasn't allowed a goal since he came in. And here comes Engdahl. Gives it to Cardo, but led him a little bit too much, so he wasn't able to take it clean. He dumped it into the Knight zone. Cardo found it in the corners, tried to center it in front. Didn't find anybody but bouncing legs, and Barter tries to send it toward the net. Excuse me, that was Engdahl tried to send it toward the net. McQuegan had to roll off the stick, and the Eagles now 0 for 5 on the man advantage. But Racker's going to win the race to the puck, so no icing. forcing Kunin to play it over here to McFarland. McFarland takes a hit for his efforts, but leaves it for Racker. Racker looking to send it in front, but Murphy plays him. Gives it down behind the net to Torianen. Torianen spinning with it in the corner. Comes all the way over here to the near side, pitching in as a land. Racker over there as well. 3 Eagles, 2 Knights. Fighting for that puck right here on the half wall directly in front of us with 6:40 to go in the third. Now Gagnon, long shot, gloved by Kunin. That was going high and wide, but Kunin gloved it anyway to force a face-off with 6:36 to go in the third, 4-1.
And you can see the strategy by St. Mike's right now. When they get possession, they're trying to keep that puck low in the zone, not trying to force anything up to the front that could be a turnover, that could be exploited by a post.
Face-off to Kunin's left. Mosher, who's going to feel some of this after the game today. Lost the face-off. Cantajaz takes the shot from the right point, stopped by Kunin. All of that took 3 seconds, so they'll go at it again with Leal and Mosher in the draw. Won by the Knights. Cantajaz tries to keep it in. Delory goes up in the air trying to glove it. I don't know how the referee could tell who actually gloved it because it went off about 3 people. And then played to center to Howell. Howell dumps it into the far side where Mosher will chase after it. Goes around Cantajaz, who doesn't hit him that time, which allows for Dalton to give to Cantajaz. He returns the favor by giving it to Dalton on the near side boards. Dalton looks to carry it out. He's looking to pass more than anything, then gets it out, but then feeds it to Delory inside the Eagle zone and gives to Mosher. Mosher at center, goes back to Sturgeon. Sturgeon gave it away to Leal, and Leal picks up the puck. He's got Bavis breaking. Leal tries to send it toward the net for Bavis, but it's blocked by Delory's leg. Sent behind the net to the corner where Harshaw plays it out to center, and Ciancio will just go high in the air, and Kunin makes a nice play with his paddle to stop that puck before it's going to the boards with 5:40 to go in the third. Eagles make a line change. Barter will take it behind the net. Barter with some speed, gets the center, over the line, keeps going to the blue line, makes a fancy veer toward the net, takes out Taylor on his way through. And as we jokingly said yesterday, after a certain amount of penalties, you get thrown out of the men's league games here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I think Barter's hit that total. At 14:33, they're going to give him roughing or interference. Roughing it is at 14:33, and the Knights will go to their 6th power play where they are 2 for 5. Although you get a little screwy in the numbers when you have a 3-second power play that gets wiped away.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Barter 2 for roughing. He's hit the quintuple with his 5th penalty of the game. And now Murphy and McDonald will be on the draw to Kunin's left. One by McDonald to Cantajaz, over here to Beaver, who fakes the one-timer, closes in the center. Waits, center point, holds, waits, gives to Cantajaz, who feeds it around to Dukes, who goes behind his back looking for Bloom. Bloom looking for McDonald, had it bounce off the leg of Glassrue, but give him back to Bloom. Bloom gives to McDonald behind the net, comes back over here to Beaver. Beaver back to McDonald. McDonald to Beaver right at the blue line. He did a good job to keep it in. Holds, waits, changes positions with Cantajaz. Gives the pass to Dukes, who tried to go right back to Cantajaz, but it went off the leg of Gethings and out to center.
It's an interesting power play. They seem more concerned with just controlling the puck than trying to get it to the net. Scrub off those 2 minutes.
Back comes Beaver. He gets the center, dumps it off the glass and off the netting, and that will cause a whistle with 1:10 to go in the man advantage and 4:37 to go in regulation time. 4-1 St. Michael's. They're 4:37 away from clinching the 2 seed in the first round bye and the NE10 playoffs. Harshaw and Taylor in the draw just outside the Eagle zone. One by Taylor, but too well, and sent it all the way down the ice as it split his defenseman. And Gagnon will start behind his own net. Gagnon gives it up to Ciancio, gives it back to Gagnon. Gagnon gets it to McFarland, chips it in nicely to McCarthy. McCarthy spins away, comes toward the top of the circle, closes in, wrist shot, scores! Beautiful play by McCarthy, who just spun with it at the bottom of the circle, came all the way out to the top of the circle and ripped it by Kunin, who had no chance. And at 15:44, the third power play goal of the game for the Knights, and they lead 5-1.
Yeah, he was just allowed to walk right out of that corner and do what he wanted.
So for McCarthy, his 9th goal of the season. 3-point day for Brendan McFarland, who again moved into second place in the NE10 in points, now with 33. Centering past the Cantajas. He'll take a shot and score. He ripped that shot from 50 feet out, right by Kunin, who again has no chance at it. And 15 seconds after they make it 5-1, they make it 6-1 on Cantajas's 13th of the season at 15:59.
Yeah, we talk about the importance of the first two shifts after a goal, right? If you're the aggressor versus a team that's sort of back on their heels a little bit, and Post was back on their heels on that one, just kind of heads on a swivel, but not closing in.
We'll get you the assist on that one momentarily. That one might take a couple minutes because we were cleaning up the first goal. The first goal, the fifth goal, is Quinn McCarthy, his 9th from Brendan McFarland, again, his 3rd point of the game. And David Ciancio at 15:44 on the power play. That moves the Knights to 3 for 6 on the power play today. And then 15 seconds later, 15:59, Case Cantajas, a junior from Bloomfield Hills, Minnesota, scores his 13th goal of the season and 2nd this weekend to make it 6-1. So I think it's safe to say that the Knights have clinched their way to the 2 seed in the first round bye. But now Bice with an opportunity, closing in, looking for a shot that gets blocked in front and doesn't even get to Manahan. So the Knights have clinched their way to a 2 seed, and they'll get a first round bye in the NE10 playoffs. Murphy to Glassrud, closing in, looking to center. It gets blocked in front again. Glassrud fighting for it, taking the body, all 6-7 of them. Puck now bouncing inside the Knight zone. Bice backhands it down into the corner. Gethings chasing after it. There's a glove on the ice. Looks like it belongs to Alan. He picked it up. Gagnon takes the body on Murphy. Murphy goes down, takes a punch to the back of the head for his efforts. Glassrud comes in. He gives the body. Shot taken from the point by Mosher. Howell, bad angle shot, right on. Pop free momentarily to Murphy. Murphy closes in, shoot toward the net, deflected in front, goes wide. Picked up behind the net by Howell. Howell comes out the other side, gives to Craig. Craig looking for a lane, finds it, sends it toward the net, but blocked nicely in front by Leal, who closed the lane. Knights up in the air, out to center, and to Glassrud at the red line, and then given away to an aggressive steal by Beavis. Big slap shot from the blue line, blockered away by Kunin. McDonald down there fighting with Harshaw, gets it to Howell, who gets it to Mosher out at center. He avoids the hit, but carrying on is Howell. Howell takes the hit, dumps it into the corner. Mosher chasing after it. Mosher forcing Ciancio into the corner. Ciancio picks it up, plays it out to center, where Brewer will play it with 1:48 to go. Again, the Knights have earned the 2 seed. They're going to win today. Really just what the final score is going to be right now. And will host a semifinal on Friday or Saturday against the higher remaining seed. Assumption, the 1 seed, will host their playoff game against the lower remaining seed. Franklin Pierce will host St. A's on Tuesday, and it looks like Post is going to Southern New Hampshire on Tuesday. I can't even remember the last time we played Southern New Hampshire. I think at home it was in November, was it not?
Right,
So it's been a while.
Yep, there was the 2 up there that I watched.
So it's been a while. See if we can get you a little bit of an update of what the Eagles did against Southern New Hampshire this year, because I just don't honestly remember. So let's see. The Eagles lost both home games to Southern New Hampshire, 6-1 and 3-1. That was in December.
Right.
And then they lost 1-0 and 6-1 up there a little over a month ago. So 0 for 4 this season against the Penmen. But that's what the Eagles will be facing up there on Tuesday. They scored 3 goals in the 4-game series and gave up 9, 10, 16. So they're outscored 16-3 in the 4-game series. But Tuesday's a new day, start of the playoffs. 6 versus 3 with a minute to go in regulation time here in Shelton. Engdahl fighting for it, looking for Cardo. Lost the puck. Coming out of the zone is Racker. Racker brought it to center, lost it to Sturgeon. Racker then stole it from Delory. And Leo picked it up in the corner. Now they're just pinning it to the wall. Delory trying to get away with it. Gives it to Sturgeon. Flying by goes Racker, who gives it to Gethings. Gethings gets to the blue line, gets to the red, tries to keep going, but Ciancio held firm and wasn't able to go through Ciancio. Beaver back to Ciancio, finds it in his skates, goes high up in the air with 25 to go. Glove down by the 6'5 Delory. Feeds a chip pass to Gethings, lost it to Racker. Gethings still fighting for it. Eagles trying to keep it in the zone, but can't do it, and then it's sent back to Noble. Inside the Eagle zone with 10 seconds to go. In the regular season for the Eagles, they're going to travel to Southern New Hampshire on Tuesday. Time running out, and the game is over, and the Eagles fall to 3-24-1 on the regular season, 2-17-1 in conference. Not the regular season the Eagles were looking for, and not the end to the regular season the Eagles were looking for. But the good news for the Eagles is playoffs start on Tuesday. They're at Southern New Hampshire. They have a chance to right some of the wrongs in a season that was full of tough one-goal losses. And unfortunately, the Eagles fall today 6-1 to St. Mike. St. Mike sweeps the weekend series and garners the 2 seed in the NE10 Now playoffs. Coach, your 3 stars this afternoon as brought to you by Post University.
Yeah, my first star with 2 points, a goal, and an assist, Brennan McFarland. My second star, because he had a goal, but more importantly, I felt he played a really good 200-foot game, and we called his name a lot, was David Ciancio. And just getting better and better, I think, in the net for St. Mike's is Cole Manahan.
So a 3-player sweep for St. Mike's today, and they earned it with the 6-1 win this afternoon. Couple of things to say as we wrap up the regular season is just want to wish well all 7 of the graduating seniors, and really anybody who may not be back with the program next year from the player side. I know this, through the full year and the COVID year and everything, those seniors have contributed a lot to this program. And while the season didn't end up exactly the way they wanted, particularly the regular season, there's still the playoffs to come, but regular season didn't end up the play the players wanted. They gave it their all for this program and for the fans and for the university, and they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And, I appreciate all the support that we get and that I get from folks' nice comments, and that keeps me going, and I appreciate that.
So Eagles fall 6-1 this afternoon, and that will sort of do it for us here on the broadcast side for Post University and the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. I want to thank you, the fans, for listening to us all season. We've got a lot of great comments, met a lot of people, particularly this weekend, but throughout the course of the season we get a lot of emails and thank yous from a lot of people. So we thank you, Coach. I want to thank you for putting up with me for another season and bringing a lot to the broadcast and information that everybody likes to have, and just a voice for the program as well. So thank you, Coach, as always.
Well, I appreciate you making me look good.
No, I might be the only one who makes anybody look good. Don't say that to anybody at home. They all think I make them look bad.
I won't. It's our secret. Nobody will hear.
There we go. So also thank you to the SID and the engineering staff and everybody who participates in making this broadcast what it is. We appreciate all the support and all the help, and too many people to name and people behind the scenes, but they know who they are, and we thank them for everything that we do here on the NE10 Now Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Still many sports to go, though. So there's men's basketball. There's still the playoff game. There's women's hockey. You've got the best 2 out of 3 on the CACC network at St. A's this weekend. Spring sports are getting ready to get into full bloom once the snow gets off the ground. We get better weather temperatures, but for the most part, we'll be back next men's season, which will start sometime at the end of October. Football season is their first year in the NE10, so they'll have a full home schedule. So a lot of sports and a lot of good news for the teams at Post University, and we look forward to seeing you at a variety of those events in the future. So, for the final time this season for Coach Pete Whitney, I'm Jeff Nelson. We'll see you soon in men's hockey. We'll see you in about 6 months for the beginning of next regular season. But the Eagles go to Southern New Hampshire in Game 1 of the playoffs starting on Tuesday night. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll catch you down the road. Have a good evening, everybody.